Yes, sir. Welcome, everybody. This is Lone Star, 15 to 23. I am that PG representative. Yeah. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Much love to everybody out there in the Ville, out there on Clay, DC, PG, all over, baby. About to take this to another level. Yeah. Get ready for some fire. It's been a long time coming, but we still got a long way to go. It's all good. Enjoy.
County Boys, PG. White's been released from the underground. Vocals reach the mic, it's a thunderous sound. Neighborhood pusher ran through a couple pounds. Extra currency, so I'm able to lounge. But I overcame in due time. Now I slang rhymes, can't tell me about the struggle. White is part of the grind. The originator, stand into your mind. Fake thugs look for trouble, if you seek you will find. A 32 revolver on my man's baby 9. Short a nigga circuit, he's unable to shine. Not a tyrant, but intrigued by violence. Observe a murder, break it down to a science. As the track circulates through my bloodstream, surges through my mouthpiece and I begin speaking. Intensity rises, sweat starts leaking. PG raps, twisting niggas caps like metal screws on my St. I special blues. Your homies ain't special, y'all don't wanna test who? What you wanna do to me, I could do to you. You wanna see your future, cuz don't be a fool. I don't talk tough, cuz I'm trying to sound cool, but it ain't no secret, I'll leave you down. Ooh.
Hey. It's time now to get this money. I ain't going for no shorts, I ain't working for dummies. Cardales in the club, in the hoes they love me. Pass the work, gritty nails under my dirt. Just dip, move slow, it's the home of the Turks. Watch me get down when I'm in my zone. I freak beats all week on the microphone. Raspy tone, coming from the woods I roll. I'm like the river when I'm running, trying to save my soul. No lies on the mic, this is truth be told. Lone Star shine brighter than a brick of gold. I leave chills down your spine cause my rhyme's so cold. I should have about a mil from all the dimes I sold, but still walk around here broke as a joke. Scarface on the mic, this is gangster music. I'm like twin with a Newport dipped in fluid. I show you how to lay it down, watch me do it, and I'll know who's better. If you do, then prove it, choose your weapon. Me, I got raps like rounds, I'm like the cops on the chase. I clap you down, have your back blown out, face down on the ground. So watch me on my hustle, Star got weight, move bricks of muscle. I'm at the 50-yard line, should I pass the juggle? Test me, nigga, then your whole hood's in trouble. Like an 8-ball of butter, homie, watch me bubble. Instrumental, we pop pills like pistols. Pistol whip you, then let the 4-5 rip you. Aims on point, guaranteed never one missed you. Grip and rip you, my team is too official. Twin got cousins with big guns and plenty of missiles. I remember when we pump crack at the train tracks with a fat sack in a G10 at all black. Got my niggas in the back with the cherry red crap. I'ma bring it with these hits and I'ma rip it, that's that. And I'ma rip it, that's that.
There we go. We are here now, man. Much respect. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to another episode of Smitty's Corner. All right, y'all. So y'all already know what it is. We are going to go ahead and get this show kicked off. Now, of course, before we do, we got to introduce family, man. And of course, you know me, man. I like to do things the right way. I like to take my time on things, right? So, of course, we got to bring folks to the forefront, but I want to make sure I got all of this in order, right? So, oh, what? Hold on now. Oh, you can't hear me? For real? Hold on now. Oh shit. Hold on. Hold on one second. Ah shit. Let me see something. Check 1 2. Can you hear me now? Is my microphone on? Mic check 1 2. My microphone on? Uh-oh. Are we in there? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? The sound is over you. The sound is over you. What sound is over me? What's playing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's background music? Really? Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. There's no background music playing. You hear background music? Really? Like right now? I am so lost. It's louder than you. What is loud? What is playing right now? There's something playing. Like I'm dead ass. I'm trying to do this the right way. Yeah, maybe. Just maybe. Because I'm like, what's playing? I don't know what's playing. But anyway, everybody, let's go ahead and we're going to introduce folks the right way. um, yeah, possibly. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I ain't mad at you for that. I ain't mad at you. But anyway, people, let's go ahead and introduce folks. And I want everybody to welcome to the stage, welcome to the building, the oh so lovely, the oh so wonderful, the oh so beautiful Miss Melissa.
She's here.
Sorry, I just need 1 minute to make sure I look good.
All right, there she go. There she go. She in the building. She in the building, ladies and gentlemen. There she go. All right, now we in here. We in here. There it is. Yeah, that was wild. That was trippy. You really had me thinking something was wrong. Like, though,
I was
I
like,
ain't
wait,
lying.
do I have other tabs up? But yeah, I think that the intro to something I was watching must have still been playing in the background. And I thought because I saw the intro going, it was the same thing. Don't even worry about it. I told you what
Now
it
we
was.
got it. Now
I
we
told you
got
what
it.
it was. So, I
I
mean,
ain't
in
mad.
theory, I was thinking in the right lane. I just drove off.
I ain't mad at you. You know that shit. I swear, you know how I get to going. But look, right. All right,
At
y'all.
least I know I didn't waste my money.
Nah, you ain't waste your money. All right, because you ain't even spend on girl.
Woo,
Ah,
baby.
man. You know we gonna look out. You know we gonna look out. Oh
Oh my
man.
gosh.
Come on now. What you mean evening? Get your butt up here, girl. We about to talk about something deep. Real talk. If you can. I know, Sunkiss. You be, But get up here, girl, if you can. You see that link. You know you family too. So look, we're gonna talk about something that's real deep today. We're gonna talk about parents, and you know something. This one right here. I mean, it really hit me because I'm a dad. And I just don't understand stories like this. I don't really know how to tap into the mind of somebody who, I don't even know how your head can go in that direction, right? So this is going to be one of those talks, people. This is going to be one of those. So what we're going to do is we're going to start it off light. We're going to start off nice and light because I'm just going to get us broken in. Men, let's try to be more aware of how we deal with the youth, talk to the youth, the whole nine. Anyway, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And this commercial break is brought to you by shit you just don't say to kids.
This fight, you are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike Tyson in the ring for the first time. What type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before, someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead? You think somebody really wants to think about you? I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the fuck cares about me when I'm gone?
Okay, before you respond, Melissa, I just wanted to play this clitoris sound.
You're missing the point.
I'm sorry, that's what you described it as. That's really what you said he looked like. Yeah, pretty much.
I still feel that way.
And
because I'm strictly dickly, it just disturbs my peace.
I know. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and change your message.
It's cool. No, because I realize it's like fun for you, and I don't want to take your toys off the
Wait a minute. I don't have toys. You all keep stuff in the nightstand. Not me. I don't have toys. I have action figures. I have action figures.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever you have on the table.
Oh man. I love messing with my own, bro. Cause we just it's just the shit we do. Y'all may not get Maryland humor, but not real shit though. That's just the shit we do. What? He needs a hug? Why he need a hug? Why you say you need a hug?
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, why you say you need a hug?
Bruh.
That nigga hugs. He's been hugging for the last 5 fights. That's all he been doing in the ring is hugging. What you talking about? I think he's gotten a lot of hugs.
And that's the problem. He's given a lot of hugs, but he hasn't gotten a lot of hugs. In receiving or in, it's universe. Every time he hugs, he just keep getting punched in the face and it shows.
Wow.
Because I can bring anything, to the full circle. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. I'm not even here to disagree.
Wait, you think I didn't think of that? Of course I thought of that.
We on the same page.
Right.
All right, so we're going to get to this video. All right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get to this video. And this video is something, I don't know, it's wild to me. Now, I understand, the big story right now is the Carmelo Anthony brother. I know the basketball players like, why this little had to have my name? But it's okay, right? We know the difference, right? But now, real talk. So we're, I know everybody's covering that. I'm the type, I may get to it, but I want the energy to die down on it so I can give my 100% analysis on that. So I'm still studying the case. It's still new to me. This one right here, I've seen a couple times, and it's disturbing. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. We're going to go ahead and get to it. I don't even hold this. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. You already know. Let me know when you want me to pause the video. Let's go ahead and listen. Oh, let me put my banners up. YouTube. Fair use. This video was for educational as well as entertainment purposes for the sake of the broadcast. Let's rock out.
A beautiful young girl found dead. Her body allegedly left in a burned out, vacant home. The person who killed her and left her to be found by others, police say, her own father.
Let's just stop right there. Let's just stop right there. That's dad. It's a reason why I have such a hard time with stories like this, especially when I know off rip, when it just comes to other cultures, how horrible of a reputation at times we can have. But they know the truth and the light about us. They know what we really consist of, right? But the reputation. And so when I hear stories like this and it circulates throughout my community, it's disheartening because I now know every time I hear a story like this, although it has nothing to do with how I live, in my mind, I now got to work triple harder. I got to now do extra work because automatically he represents me. And you know what's so sad? A lot of times we won't say, you know what? We'll take the good brothers and have them be the representative for them nothing ass niggas. Nah. Nothing ass niggas represent the entirety of even us as good dudes. I can't take what it is that I do and try to be like, nah, y'all, like this should be the representation. No. When people see this right here, dad, which way? That way, that way. Dad right here. Yo, that's detrimental. And the reason why I speak up on it to make it very clear, there are endless of us as black men and black fathers. We don't claim these niggas. We hate them just as much as you do. Can't stand them. I don't have to have gone through any of it. We can't stand people like this. Not just because they are a very, very hazardous factor to everything moving. They are the fire hazard to the community. They're a fire hazard. They are the dresser in the bed mattress in front of the door while there's a fire in the kitchen or something. They are that hazard. And so now, here it is. I'm up here, I'm wondering, why do my sisters got their guard up so much? Hold on. Am I back? Can you hear me? I got to take this video down. All right, so I'm going to pull up another one. Don't worry, I got it. Don't worry, I got it. So I'm just trying to figure out, how do we get to the point where we really have this type of image, but more than anything, how do we fix that? I don't know. The only thing I know how to do is present myself the way I do. But I remember we were talking and you were saying something about experiences like that wasn't so good when it came to men. You want to expound upon that a little bit? Because, you know, I am one of the brothers that's like, yo, I don't know a bunch of crab ass dudes like that. So I wonder, how does my sisters have all of these stories? You got the floor.
Well, first and foremost, my condolences to that young lady's family.
Absolutely. Condolences to the family. Forgive me. I got lost in my wrap up. Yeah. Condolences to the family. Thank you.
I speak on behalf of the platform, if I may.
No, absolutely, absolutely. You're a part of it. You're one of us.
That extends. So condolences from us. With that being said, I have so many different thoughts, both personal and not personal. And still in all that, my question is, I need to know what's in the head of. I am a person who, there are people who grow up in these situations and you hear it all the time. It's like you could have two twin brothers who live in the exact same household. Parents are filthy rich. One of them turns out to be a kingpin. The other one turns out to be the CEO of a company. So I think when it comes to things like that, because don't get me wrong, in our culture, there's a code. Once he goes to jail, we feel like our brothers behind closed doors, guilty or innocent, are going to serve him justice every day that he in there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, it's a fact. As one who has come from behind the walls, I have experienced those who
Right.
have either been ran off the block or they was violated viciously after that paperwork came through.
Right. No doubt
It's
about
a
it.
real thing. That's very real.
So with that being said, I think that the people who do want to handle it are handling
Right.
it. And I don't want to overlook the people who are out there being the vigilantes.
Street justice.
To
Street
their
justice.
detriment sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shout out and salute to you all as well. How do we fix it? I don't really know. I don't really know because unfortunately, we do have to be a lot of our own law and order because to allow somebody else to do it may cause us to be unalived, even while we're trying to defend ourselves. I may want you to be locked up, but when the police come to your house, I don't want them to shoot you dead. I just want them to come collect you and send you where you know what I mean? You need some help. Like you don't need to be smacking your wife around. You need to go sit down somewhere. It'll get served to you in there. But we also hold the responsibility of if I call the police on you, have I just caused your death?
Ain't that something? Talk about them. Hey, hold on. We got a real quick for that one.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
There are cases, multiple. It's not an anomaly. There are many cases where that woman said, all I wanted to do was scare him. Why did y'all do that? Called the police. All she wanted to do was scare him. I know a couple of stories like that. You know me, outside of these relationship talk spaces, the two spaces that I'm into is, hold on, family in the building. There she go. Everybody give it up for the oh so lovely, oh so wonderful and beautiful Miss Sunkist.
I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Sing, children. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
She don't give a damn. She'll tell you in a heartbeat. She don't care. She don't care. What's going on, Sunkist? What's going on? You already know what it is. All right. The down south queen.
Is my mic
get it. You scratchy. You scratchy as always. I don't know if it's your Bluetooth or whatever, but we can't hear you. But
I'm not even on Bluetooth.
Oh no, you sound a little bit better. You know what? Let me do this again. Let me check your mic. Let me check your mic real quick. Hold on. Mic settings. Yeah, hold on.
Mic
hello, Sunkist.
Hi, how are you?
There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. All right now. Yeah. I just had to adjust your mic. I don't know why you come in with the goddess mic every time. Yours is always on 100. Everybody else be like 75 to 60 something. Sunkist coming with that
on the panel.
She came in with the settings already adjusted. Okay, now I see. But now, real talk. Do you want to speak on it like so far, or you want me to play more of the video? Don't worry, because I'm just listening. We're gonna do talk radio. So,
want to say that that's a real fear whether or not the police is gonna kill y'all or not. But I don't give a damn. If you make a woman feel like she need to call somebody to protect herself, then you deserve whatever the hell you get. I don't care no more. Women need to raise the bar, especially black women. We need to raise the bar on the standard of protection and treatment that we get from our men. And if
but
that
see,
means
that's why
it's gonna cost them their life.
Real quick, Sunkist, I want you to continue because I want you to incorporate this in your answer. That's why in the description I said in there, I said, did the system fail her, or should her mother have picked better? Yeah, I know it's triggering, but that's okay.
I don't know what her mama had going on. I don't even know I haven't seen the story to see what happened to form an opinion. Saying somebody should have picked better is kind of crazy
Okay.
because you can
Talk
only
about
know a person so much. Like my husband been with me 21 years, and while he may know me pretty well, he does not know everything about me. There will always be points about me, thought processes about me that he'll never know anything about because I'm my own person, I'm my own individual. So you can tell somebody to pick better, but nobody has any control over another individual and what those individuals choose to do.
Do you believe that everybody should bring kids into the world? Because I ain't gonna lie, when I hear stories like this, I'm just talking about him. Because I mean, I will say this: I don't know the mother, so I won't speak on her. But I'm just saying, and of course, me as a man, y'all know my MO. You know, Sunkiss. I always say I'll talk to the men, I'll ask the women questions. I speak to the men and I ask y'all questions. Right. So when I see things like this is just another case of me saying everybody don't need to have kids. Real talk.
Oh yeah, I believe a lot of
He's
people.
a prime example of why I believe in what's that called? Vasectomies.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't need to birth any children. It's a lot of work to raise a child, and I don't think a lot of these children are not brought into the world because their parents wanted them. A lot of these children are, oops, I got pregnant,
Wait, wait,
and
wait, wait,
that
wait, 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 wait. No, no, no. Bump all that. Sunkiss. Are a lot of babies like that in our community or the world? Because from what I know, majority, I don't care how bad we want to look at whatever, a lot of other places, those kids are planned. We're the
yeah,
only ones who say that a lot. So I want us to
we the
keep
only
that.
ones that are one gonna be judged by the lowest standard of
That
society.
is true.
So we
That is
the
true.
only ones that can actually sit up here and be honest about what's going on. These other people have uh oops babies as well. It ain't just us. Not at all.
But I
And
think
when
it,
they
I ain't gonna lie, but is it more of an anomaly? See, I think our oops babies became on purpose. We have on purpose oops babies. I don't know how we did that, but we're gonna talk about it because unless we talk about it, it won't stop. It won't change. Somebody has to be brave enough to say something. It's not a
well, I
judgment.
don't
It's
think it's
for the
I
record. For the no, no, not.
what happened?
God damn it! Where did I go? Am I
Oh,
still here?
there you go.
Yeah, I see. They messing with me. They messing with me. I think a lot of that is really from the fact that we have taken a lot of things. My point in saying that is we've taken a lot of things that aren't supposed to be normal and we have normalized it. Now, I do understand to a degree why we do that because we've gone through so much pain and strife. Man, we got to find a way to like turn our pain into some kind of pleasure. I do recognize how we will make jokes about ourselves in the sense of like, yo, look at what we made it through. I get that, but I do think that we do cross that fine line between what is us just like coping with what we've been through, and when we start to actually transgress into now you're just being a horrible representation. You got the floor, and then we're gonna get to Sister Melissa next after you, so we can get back to it.
I just think that that's what I asked a question. I asked if men pay attention to men because I don't understand how men can see stuff like this and be shocked and surprised by it, or how some of these men can come out their mouths and say these women need to choose better. Because if you a girl and you was a black girl, let me just say that, and you was fortunate enough to have your father rear you, one thing a girl with a daddy is going to be taught is how to make sure she can defend herself from a man. So if
You know I know about that.
Right. So if a
You
father
know
is
I know
going to
about
teach his daughter about protecting herself against
that.
men,
Right.
then why do we act like
That's right.
that women are so safe inside of society? And that's for all women. Men are fucking dangerous. It just is what it is.
That's what I hate, Sunkiss. Now hold on, Sunkiss. I gotta stop you there. Melissa, please. All right. So you was telling us some, you were explaining something about your experience and why in a slight view, men to a degree has heightened your awareness of danger. If you want to expand upon that more, please.
Give give me the footnote because I say a lot.
When
On
you were
which
talking about how, remember, we were talking and you said, me personally, I have had these bad experience with men.
Mhm,
Yeah, that
mhm.
part. I don't. I want you to, whatever
Expand
you choose to.
as it
Yeah,
relates
yeah.
to what? I just want to bring it full circle to the point, so I'm not babbling.
No, we're just no. What she's talking about is how no, basically, there is this view that us as men are so dangerous, and I'm like, but why do we then have the title of we're protectors and leaders? Why are you scared of a leader and protector? So I
I
want
believe
y'all to understand. No, wait, just real quick to land it. This is just a man's brain speaking, the opposite of yours. Like how I like typically how ours would. It's like, huh? I hear all the time we're I'm protector. I'm dad. I'm like king of the household, which means like sword and shield throne. Where did all this fear come from? That's what I'm asking. Go ahead.
so. I believe that it's, you know me, I be trying to simplify. I feel as though the same exact thing that you use or were built from
Mm-hmm.
for good can be used for evil. So, yes, you're a protector. Yes, you're a hunter. Yes,
Okay.
you're a builder.
Very
Yes,
true.
you're the person who has to wrestle the lion and get the honey and do all of that. But if your mind is warped, your concept of love is tainted. You aren't in your proper mental health. You weren't raised to know that that is supposed to only be used to bring things into your household, then now you have turned those things into evil. So you still.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
So you still hunting, you still clubbing, you still being dominant, you still doing all of that. It's just not for your good or for the good of your house or for the good of your spouse. So yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I think it's pretty simplistic. That's about as far as my thought
Sun
process.
kiss. Okay. Okay. Sun kiss.
Yeah.
Like I mean, as guys like me, your husband, and a plethora of us out here. If that's the case, and you two sisters know this, and many other sisters know this, why are y'all so scared of us overall?
Because
Even
it's
after we know
y'all.
Greek lady was a lie, it was an allergy. That's right. That's right. I'm going to trigger. I'm a trigger real quick. I'm gonna just trigger. Yeah, even if we
Y'all.
know that. But hold on, I want to say this. All jokes aside, I do recognize, and I am one of the men who know. No, women responded to that. Although she was fake about it, that is a real life circumstance that a lot of women have gone through. So even though her story wasn't true, there are many stories that can be related to from that lie in a truthful, realistic, real life manner. Police paperwork, damages, and all. So I just want to make that clear. I do recognize that. Go ahead, Sunkiss.
So the men that are going to protect women are going to be a fewer number than the men that are not going to protect women. So y'all can consider yourself the minority. And you looking and you saying what? But you gotta think about it. Society has to put laws in place in order to make men behave. It was acceptable at one point for men to be physically violent towards women. The only reason why it is not as acceptable is because it finally became law for you not to mistreat women. And other men shouldn't have to put laws in place to make men treat women like human beings. But that's just what it is because I'm stronger, I'm powerful. I can force you to do whatever I want you to do because I have that power. And I mean, it's human nature to try to take as much as you can get. It requires some form of discipline and self control to not have that type of power and abuse it. And it's a lot of men that's gonna abuse it. And I'm sorry, it's more men that ain't got no self control than it is men that have self control.
Hold on. How we gonna say that, but then we'll turn around and say that we know women are more emotional?
What do
Don't you
emotions
don't
got to
think
do with
emotion
anything?
has anything to do with response to circumstance? Really?
I know daddy's telling his daughter, well, baby, if you see a man messing with you, just go find another man. Ain't no daddy saying no shit like that to his daughter.
Nah. Yeah, I'm because subsequently, what I'm telling her to do is go throw that pussy everywhere. Excuse my French. Excuse my English. Go throw it everywhere. No. I would definitely hone in on, and anybody who knows me, who knows I've talked about relationships, knows I'll say this. What's really the issue? Is he putting his hands on you? Is he stealing from you? Is he degrading you? Is he talking to you down like really, really bad? Is it just regular relationship type? You know, the regular, you get on my nerves right now. The typical stuff, right? Yeah, no, I'm the first one to tell anybody, let alone my daughter. Just maybe like give it a second, or do you all communicate? The last thing I do, basically in a nutshell, is I never try to come out and just be like, leave that person and go somewhere else. I'm not that guy. I'm gonna always talk to you, and I'm gonna try my best to get a full perspective of both sides of it, even if I don't talk to the other party. So you're absolutely right about that. The last thing I would say is to do that, because that means you're just going from one nigga to another, which means you're going to eventually be intimate with that guy. So you're just collecting bodies now. So how many bodies do you got to collect before you get it right? How many times does dad got to tell you, leave that nigga, go to the next? Dead. Dead. 9 times out of 10, I probably don't want you with the nigga that you with right now, because I'm just dad, and that's just me still being who I am, and you my baby. It's just a dad thing. Yeah, I won't understand it, but it is. Rock out.
What? I don't know what happened. I don't know.
You just said, as far as the protection, go to another man. You're absolutely right. Me as a dad, I would try my best to deter her from doing that if it's not something if it's abusive, if it's the unforgivables, you stealing from me, putting your hands on me, calling me a B, and all kinds of crazy stuff out your, you know what I'm saying? You come in the house off drugs or something. All of that, alcoholic. Get the hell up out of there. I'm on my way to meet you up the street. Get away from the house. Keep your phone on. Matter of fact, stay on the phone while I'm driving. I'm on that type time.
But if we live in
as
this,
a dad, but what I'm saying is, as a dad, I will not be one to just tell my daughter, oh, it ain't working out. I'm backing up what you said. You said I wouldn't say that, because I don't want her just hopping from dude to dude. That's a fact.
no, it's not about hopping from dude to dude. If majority of men was protectors of women, and it was a man mistreating a woman should be able to walk up to any man and be like, this is what's going on, and that man deal with this situation. But that's not the world that we live in. Most men turn a blind eye to other men and act like they don't know that these things are happening, which is why women have to, one, learn how to protect themselves, which is why
I
I
won't
said,
deny that. Okay.
if a
I
woman
won't deny
has to
that.
call the police on you and it costs you your life, then that's what you deserve.
I got you. So hold on, Melissa. That's kind of to your point. That's to
Yeah,
your point.
and I understand, and with all due respect, everybody's perspective and their reality is their truth. So I'm not here to combat that, because if that's what that person feels in the moment, they should be able to do that. And when you get into the finite details of what situation is the exception to the rule, then yeah, when somebody is chasing me down the street with an axe or a gun or something to that regard, yeah, I'm calling the police, and I don't care if they shoot you dead, period. So I'm not talking to that extreme. There's exceptions to every rule, but I don't think for every nitpicky thing that I'm willing to bring somebody from the outside in, because for those petty situations that you were talking about, if it is just a spat, but I'm on some petty, what they call it, like a toxic bitch shit, for lack of a better term, I could cost you your life. So I have to be even strategic in to what degree I feel like I got to get back at you. But yeah, of course, I'm an advocate, a mentor for domestic violence. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. So in its extreme, I too have called the police. Shit, I've caught a felony for defending my own self. So we're here. But nonetheless, yeah, I think that every scenario deserves its own evaluation, but nothing fits under the same rule.
Let me say this to that on what you're saying. And real talk. Shout out to what Sunk is saying, because you know something. You already know Sunk is. You know me and you click, girl, because me and you both got that, like, yo, you make your bed, you lie in it. Let's just put it like that. You know we both got that headspace. Like, don't do the bitching and crying now. You know what you did. That's the A. You asked for that shit. Don't bring it to me. Take it with God.
Right.
All right. Now, you know that. I just want to make sure I made that part clear. You know, my whole thing is, even down to what you're saying and what Melissa is saying, I get both aspects of it, in the sense of, because do you not know how many times I've had to go to court? You know, it's court day, and anybody know who I go. You go to court on a bus with other inmates. All of y'all, is a certain amount of y'all in the prison. All y'all got court on the same day, right? You know how many times I've sat there and watched dudes? You know why they in there? Because they baby mama, if you want to say, or they girl, whatever, called the police on them, got them locked up. And guess who put money on the phone? Her. Guess who's in the courtroom? Her, on his behalf. Guess who sent them commissary money? Guess who's visiting him? Her. So I get what she's saying, in the sense of, like, that petty, like, you just doing that and you can cost him. Now, mind you, we don't even have to go as far as costing him his life. Them 3 months he probably was back there for that little dumbass domestic. That really was just y'all arguing. It's normal. It was some typical shit. And I'm not I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying I've seen and heard too many stories where, no, that woman will call him and she's still with him. She's still with him. So it's like, why did you just cost him the job? Why did you cost him not being there for Thanksgiving? Because he got locked up around the holidays, and court is backed up, so they ain't gonna get to you till after New Year's. So you about to miss Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything. We know about this stuff. You see, it goes deep. So I'm just saying I recognize both sides. But again, to your part, now you already know. You make your bed, you lying that shit. That's why I've never got up here and complained about y'all have never heard me say, man, I was locked up because of the system. Nah, but you've heard me say a million times, yeah, I got locked up because I was selling weed. I had pounds of weed. So I went to prison because of my decisions. The law didn't do shit to me. Wait a minute, is this money in my pocket? What is this? What is this? Oh, thank God. Oh, wow. I was looking for you. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to this video. What we're going to do is we're going to take time and I'm sorry, I just bugged out. I'm back. Now, I was looking for this for a minute. I lost this. Yeah, I need that. That's a great connection right there. Let's get back to the video. What we're going to do is we're going to do radio talk video. So I'm going to pull it up, but I'm just going to put it in the back. Let me know if y'all can hear it, okay? Let's go ahead and get to it. Let me see something here. Boom. Let me see something here. Boom. All right, so boom. Can y'all hear this?
An accused murder, allegedly.
Y'all can hear that?
Yes.
All right, bet. Let's go ahead and go. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 5:04 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. Melissa, I am going to take a bathroom break in about 30 minutes, okay? I'm going to need you to hold it down for me for a few, okay?
I would my best.
All right, bet.
Pulling a gun on police who are forced to open fire. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Oh, my bad. Let's go ahead and get to the story. So this story consists of, there's a dad who apparently has a history, and this dad went on ahead and he did the most to his own flesh and blood. Again, this is something that we're not used to. I'm going to put this banner up, even though it's not Tuesday. I just believe that it should be put up because it's just warranted for it. Where is it? I know I have it here somewhere. I know I got to have it here. All right. Hold on. Boom. There we go. There we go. Right here. Wow. Words for you. Let's go ahead and do it.
Not just for the loss of life, but for the questions that are being asked about what could have been done to stop this from happening. This is the girl who lost her life, 13-year-old Kimani Lateef. Police say she went missing on March 18th. 6 days later, on March 24th, this elementary school student was found dead inside a home in Toledo, Ohio. It was a burned out, vacant house. The coroner in Toledo released this statement saying an autopsy showed that Kimani was found with multiple incision wounds to the neck. That means something that was sharp, like a knife, was used to kill her. A day prior to Kimani's body being found, authorities put out an arrest warrant for her father. Here's his picture. His name is Darnell Jones. He also goes by Darnell Ogletree, according to court records. And there are plenty of court records related to this man. He has a lengthy criminal history. He's been accused of arson, assault, also illegally carrying a firearm. We'll talk a little bit more about his criminal record in just a moment, but let's get to this newly released body cam video of what went down when he was put under arrest. This video is from Columbus, Ohio police.
Come here, man.
Don't do it.
What's your name?
Kill me.
Dude, show me your hands right now.
Me, bro.
Pull your hands.
He shaved his head. He tried to change his identity. Yeah, he shaved. He shaved.
Hand out your. I swear to God, pull.
Watch that there. At that moment, you can see Jones make a sudden movement and the officer fires multiple times. Now, I can't show you the moment that officers actually opened fire because of rules on YouTube.
Okay, Sunkiss, did he deserve to get shot by the police?
It looked like he probably did.
Man, bump that. His ass deserve every goddamn bullet that came into his body and some. And I hope smoke came out, and I hope he died with his eyes open if he is. Period. How dare you? We don't claim you niggas. And that's what it is. I don't play with that shit. Lord knows what she could have done in the future to really help our community, to really make a difference. We will never know. We will never know. Okay, so F him. Let's go. Real talk. Like, I want to make it clear. There are those of us of men. We only stand for those us of men who are of a certain caliber, cut and cloth and fabric of life. All right. We don't do them jail woolly blankets that's itchy. We don't do that shit. Let's go.
Well, that man is innocent until proven guilty in the court.
I don't want to hear that shit, Sunkiss.
But that's the law. And that's he deserves to do.
Guess what? How many times has the law put us in a chair and we were completely innocent? So we can make that argument all day. How many times has the law done us wrong and somebody who was completely innocent and lost their life due to the law? And I'm not talking about on the streets. I'm talking about through the judicial system. They got put in the chair and their last word, I never did it. And they come to find out, there are many cases come to find out that person really didn't do it. Yeah, so it can go both ways is all I'm saying. I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? It can go both ways. That's
well,
all.
I'm saying until he puts that officer's life in danger, he shouldn't be shot. But he do got his hand in his pocket, so the officer does have a right to be on alerts.
Facts. I give you that. Okay, I will give you the technical analysis. I give you that because you are bigger on this news stuff than me, so you know how to respond. You more of a vet than me, so I give it to you. Shout out to my sis who's been here over 10 years, man. Shout out to the family.
Also might have heard what sounds like Jones saying, quote, "just kill me," as the officer pulls his weapon to confront him on the street. Let's pick up this video as officers search Jones, who is on the ground, wounded, but still alive.
Shots fired, Dennis in a second. Your medic,
Don't move.
don't move. All right, suspect down. All you guys are okay.
Don't move. He's got 33 right there.
33 in his head.
No, it's a walkie-talkie, but there's 33s right here. Don't.
That's code for, you know, he holding. Yeah, I'm trying to help y'all. Like yeah, you kind of learn things when you've been arrested enough times. They have certain codes, like, they'll hit you with a signal 13. They'll hit you with all kind of different. All of these codes have to do with what's taking place, right? So like a 13, that means officer in distress. They don't have to say, they may say it. There are many cases where it has been because it's that life threatening and the officer just went back to human mode. That does happen. But through technical training, they have codes and numbers, and each of these numbers is what's taking place. You see what I'm saying? If they say 16, that means I'm bringing one in. They're in the car. We're on our way to the jail. 16, transporting one. You see what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's numbers for the codes just to get people hip. For those who don't know, that's all. You don't know who could be listening.
Don't you move or you're going to get shot, okay? All right? Got it. Yep. That's him. Somebody get
on the main air. Get us a medic. I'm working on it.
Now, if you look closely at the video, you can see the gun that Jones allegedly pulled.
That's the 33 they're talking about. 33 means he was packing, has a weapon, whether it's knife, gun, bat, whatever. It's they're armed. So we had to do what we had to do. It wasn't just a fist fight. We couldn't use tasers only.
On police. At the time of this recording, Jones is still in the hospital recovering in Columbus. He faces a charge of felonious assault.
Okay. All right. So since he's still around, I honestly, I'm not going to say I hope for it, but if you're violated while back behind those walls, let's just say I won't be praying for your well-being. Let's go.
Assault on a police officer on top of the murder charge that he's facing in Toledo for allegedly killing his own daughter. The head of the police union in Columbus spoke to the media after Jones was arrested. He said that there was a bolo put out for Jones and officers knew who to
for those who don't know, bolo means be on lookout.
Look for. He also said this, according to WTOL TV.
This case is one of the most horrific cases I ever heard. This is a 14-year-old that was murdered, raped, had her hands cut off, and her throat almost cut off. This is an...
Okay, so on that note, because I'm a father, I need to take a moment, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to woosah because you don't understand how much that hits my heart as a dad thinking about my own. I just needed a moment. That's all. I'm a dad, for crying out loud. You think I don't think of mine when I hear stories like this? You think that shit don't hit my heart? Like, real talk though. See, I'm making it clear. This is the part where we've been disattached. It doesn't have to be mine for me to feel that. It doesn't have to be on my doorstep for me to feel that shit. What does she do besides be born and grow up? And the very people that you look to for the most protection out of anybody in this world violate you the most. May those voices sing to her in paradise. And some. And some. Respect to you. Melissa, you have the floor. You know you're the captain of the ship on this one.
Okay, so many places to go with that. This is the exception to the rule. So my first thoughts, honestly, before I saw it move to the next thing is, I don't know, honestly, if I was rooting more for the police to serve justice, or if I was like, dang,
Like shit though. Like shit.
he ain't gonna never get to go to cell block. What is
Man,
it?
what? I don't give a damn. Get his ass out of here now.
So it was like, I was kind of torn. Do I want him to serve street justice on the inside or die on scene? You know what I mean? So there's that, because obviously you could see in that moment, he knew exactly that he was being looked for, what he was being looked for, obviously, because he tried to change his appearance. So ain't no, oh, I don't even know what y'all looking for me about. He didn't say, hey, why he was packing, because obviously he knew he was going to get
Facts.
pulled up on.
Nothing was why you, hold on, wait, what's happening? Nothing.
You didn't turn yourself in.
He
but you
knew what
somebody
time
was
it
looking for
was.
you.
Facts. Come on now.
So, I mean, all signs point to ass whooping, but it is what it is.
Go ahead and
But
bring
that
it,
being,
bring it, beloved. Sunkiss in the building, y'all.
but that being said, golly, so many places to go. Number one, just because I'm me, I don't want to overlook the fact that these type of demons, for lack of a better term, don't have a gender. So there are berserk banana crazy women like there are berserk banana crazy men. And they're not always triggered first. It may be as a result of piles and piles and piles and piles of things, but there are some women who are also batshit crazy. Let's not forget that there are some. And so I don't want this to seem like we are just male bashing. It's just that the male is the main character in this particular story, but it also asks about the mom.
No,
right?
talk about that nigga. No. We're gonna focus on the culprit. And the culprit is this nothing ass nigga. Let's stay there. And that's
no doubt
okay.
about it.
That's
But
okay.
we're staying there, but it was discussed about the mom. That was part of the banner, right? Did the women choose wrong? So
that's true. That's true.
It's not the focus, but I'll touch it because it's out there. And somebody might have came to hear that one point. Sometimes we don't know. Everybody has a form, has a representative they introduce you to. A lot of people don't know what it's like exactly. And please jump in at any time. A lot of people feel like they have to present something else first. And depending on where you are in your healing journey, where you are in your intuition, where you are in the length of time you go to pick up and keep on your flag. I don't know what that is. Whether you know what those red flags are, so and so, such and such, are all Queen's point. You think you're picking the right person. However, moving past that, I also heard them read a resume that all sound like red flags. Did she know that before she introduced them to her daughter? And at that point, why would you introduce him to your daughter? Or why would you get with him and then create with him and then put him in that predicament is what I mean by
that's why the
Obviously,
question. Yes, that's why the question was proposed. Thank you for pinpointing that. Thank you.
I wanted to narrow that down so I could be specific. So, I mean, there are a lot of different things that go into play. But if the focus is, was he dead wrong? Did he deserve? Does he deserve? In my opinion, yeah. But for 1,100 trillion of us, there was still going to be some lady that's going to write him and become his pen pal and possibly want to marry him behind bars because she's fascinated with the fact that he was on this psycho dad type ish. So for every opinion we have, somebody else got the opposite opinion. I promise you that. They think he just needs an extra hug. He just needs to be loved. People don't understand his background. There is no exception to the rule. I just want to, if I could just, much to their detriment, sometime he'll come out and do it to you or your daughter. I think that's all I have to spill about that there. Queen, you have something to get. Sunkiss, you have something to add to that? Take away from it,
Back
blend
chat,
in.
back chat, ladies.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the initial question?
No, just
Or
as just pretty much blending it all together. Much to what you were saying, I agree with. You know, there's an exception to all rules, and this is definitely one of them. Uh, so I was just asking if there was anything else you were blending into that, because I don't even know if you finished all you had to say before we kind of stuck in the footnote.
oh, my thing is like we. I recall and I hear the conversations about whether or not we should put our safety to the side um, in protection of these men culturally, and I feel like now if you being petty and you calling people the police on people just because you silly, then you need to go to jail. Shit, but um. I don't think the men should be putting us in a position where we feel like we need to call the damn police on them. Sir, just leave. Just don't get out of face. Why put yourself in a position to have her call somebody else to put some authority over you? Just keep your dignity intact and go the hell on.
Do you think we as women overstay our welcome in those situations?
I think women be giving the wrong dudes too many chances.
So yeah. No doubt about it. Is it because of our nurturing nature? Like we're hoping we could just love it out of him, or we're hoping we can we can understand and relate to you, our brother, our strong black man. Like, do you feel like we have a pressure as black women, as women, period? Because we're not the only culture that gets beat between the washer and the dryer, right? But for this purpose,
Nah. Keep it on us. Keep it on
I was
us.
gonna say if we have to hone it
Only.
into a
Because
sorry.
everybody else gets their pampering prep. We need something that's only for us and us only, God damn it, and that's here. That's
If
for
I
my
could just
sisters
finish,
and my brothers.
if I could just finish my sentence. When I was
Sure.
doing this, I was literally getting ready to say, but for the sake of this conversation, we will keep it in our culture. If I could
Please.
just get to the end, like after
Yes.
the comma. I just want to get after the comma. So I appreciate you. And so with that being said, yeah, for honing it in on our culture, um, you know, and making it specific to that, do you think that we are taught, or it's in our head that we have to accept or overstay our welcome?
Yeah, we are taught to accept abuse. And it's unfortunate and it's sad. Like, even listening to some of these conversations in the space, it is almost your value as a woman is predicated on how much abuse you can withstand and you can take. And you're not supposed to view certain behaviors as abuse. You're just supposed to view it as, oh, this is just the nature of a man. The problem with that is when you come across men that have self-control, that have a particular level of respect for women, you understand that no, that's not the nature of a man. There's somebody that just simply ain't got no self-control. And we need, like I said, we as women need to start raising the 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 standard of what is acceptable when it comes to how we deal with these men. Now, I don't know what was going on between this woman and this man, and why he would cut off his 14-year-old daughter's hands. I mean, I know they said he had charges, but it didn't sound like any of those charges were directed toward children.
To that extreme, yeah. Okay.
You know, so I mean, the women, and this is another thing because it's so much, it's a lack of fathers and stuff like that, and because we see young boys and the media and all of this stuff portraying these young men going into the street life, a lot of us um, view that type of behavior as masculine behavior. We think that's just how men supposed to act because it's a program. And she might have seen that and just thought he was gonna be a great dude or whatever. And I'm trying to figure out, like, in 14 years, did he ever show any signs of violence? Because that's crazy. What he did to her body is insane. Like, I can't see him just one day out the blue doing that to his daughter if there wasn't already some type of established behavior before.
Big facts. Big facts. I said the same.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. So, I don't know. I think we should do better about what we accept. I think we need to have more conversations about what's healthy, what's acceptable, and what's not acceptable, and then go from there.
Let me ask you, sisters, a question, and I'm gonna drop down and I'm gonna pull something up for us to talk about that will be very, very much so beneficial, I believe. Okay. I want to ask you all this, and of course, Melissa, you first, and Kiss, I'm gonna go ahead and give you some time because I know you like to chillax. All right. Um, why, in your personal opinion, do you believe that most sisters, most women, are hesitant to leave abusive situations? I want to know that because I am curious about it. Like, most of us say, you know what? As soon as I feel a heat or flame, I get burnt, I'm out of there or I don't touch it no more. What is it? Because I know it's something that has to do with fear, maybe, and a few other things. But why won't most of our sisters leave before it's too late? I digress. My mic is muted. Melissa, you got the floor. Sunkiss, you right after, of course.
Okay, let me ask a question first. Can I read a piece? That's going to answer that question.
This is honestly, yeah. You got admin rights. So
All right.
yeah. Okay.
Let me put it in a way that I was best.
Just make sure you let the people know what's going on. Give them a breakdown. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out.
So I'm a poet and a spoken word artist, right? And I generally tend to write from real shit places. And this, I'm always incorporating everyday conversations, things like that, and then putting them to paper. A lot of them are my true stories, my thoughts, my all of that. So just because we have the space to do so, and it's not extremely long, I want to answer that question artistically. So I'm going to read a piece that says, I wait. I've been waiting. Waiting for my babies to be old enough. They got to see that I'm tough enough. Waiting for everybody to see that I stayed come hell or high waters. But what am I teaching my daughters? No. I'm teaching them not to flake, not to run away, and to stay. I waited and I waited. Anticipated the gifts that I thought I'd be blessed with. Got knocked around and bobbed and weaved, been drugged downstairs by the crown of glory that I thought God gave me as my hair. Lost count of the strands that were dead in the palm of his hands. The gesture didn't make me feel very queenly, but it did make me feel more like a court gesture. Maybe that's why all the judges and the cops would laugh at me. So I just wait to see. I wait because the word and my faith and my prayers are strong like a no-limit soldier. I even learned how to make up to cover and erase. I didn't watch War Room. I felt like I was invincible against the devil's culprit. So I waited. And I waited. And I waited. And then I found a time that I could escape. But I waited. And I waited. And I waited for the next time to escape. But the cold reality as the casket closed on my face is that I waited too late. Exclusive rights poem. That is my answer.
Okay. Now, go ahead and give us your elaboration on what you just gave us. As one who is a fellow writer myself, and as one who I know definitely is aware that Sunkiss, can you stop it, please? I got you. I definitely get it. Wow. I get it in the sense of what it is that you spoke in a sympathizing aspect, not empathizing. I will never be able to empathize. I will only be able to sympathize. All right. So, with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Ladies, I want y'all to talk about that briefly before we get back to the video. You elaborate, Melissa and Sunkiss, of course.
In agreement to what we were both saying, and then your question came. There's a unspoken rule in our community that we can't go to other people. We have to take it to God. You don't tell your business. You take it to God. Prayer, pastor, whoever else probably is doing the exact same thing. You wait because you're taught that you're stronger if you can endure. You're trying to be an example for your children, but what are you actually teaching them? I mean, the poem is pretty self-explanatory. You do try to escape. I've lived in a domestic violence shelter before with my children. And when you do try to escape and you go to court, you have people who know you don't know you from a can of paint that'll send you right back home. I went with my pastor and told my pastor, and my pastor pretty much told me I needed to stay under subjection and go back home. And so I waited. And it wasn't until I had enough of enough. And I was able to look outside of, okay, like, am I willing to stay here and die in this thing? I literally had a dream about that casket closing on my face. Like, this is literally what snapped me into, yeah, you gonna have to get up and get up out of here. Also, it was traditional. So I thought that if a dude hit you and you hit him back, technically you weren't being abused because you hit him back, even though he hit you first. And why? Because I grew up that way. So that's what I mean. That's the substance of that. There are times that we try to escape. There are times that we go out. There are times that we are taught, oh, you just got to deal with it. You got to handle it. There are times that we get weight and responsibilities that we don't know what to do with it. All we know is that we're women. We're taught to nurture. This is protect black men at all costs, period. Don't go outside. Don't ask nobody nothing. Don't say nothing. Deal with it. You're a black woman. You're strong. Tap into your chakra. Tighten the fuck up. Put some makeup on them scars and get the fuck back out there. We don't get the opportunity to rest, relax, release. I literally have a poem that says, we had no time to heal, no time to rationalize, and no time to buy back the time that got stolen. But fuck it, we here now. That's what we go through every day. It's very far and few between we get to backtrack and suck this shit. And air this shit out. We just got to suck it out because we're strong Black women. And if we so happen to run into a strong Black man, kudos to us. If he hasn't been beat the fuck down by all the other shorties that's just pretending to be us. That's all I have to say about that at the moment.
Okay. Sunkist, you got the
Yeah. Oh, I got the floor. I don't. I ain't never been in a domestic violence relationship. Part of that is because I know me, and what I'm not trying to do is be in a situation that'll cost me my freedom. But I hear people tell women all the time, "Why don't you just leave? Why do you continue to put in there?" It's not that easy to just get up and leave. When you done build a life with a person, it's a lot of stuff that goes into that. Where are you going to go? Are you working? Do you even have a means of finance to support yourself? If you don't, where you going? Because while people will tell you out their mouth that they want to help you, that help is fickle at best. Because at the end of the day, you're a grown behind person, and nobody wants to take care of an adult. It is a reason that there are advocacy groups to help women get out of those situations. And the way that a lot of these places is set up and the way that they operate and they move, to me, I look at it like it's almost like a underground railroad type situation. And so if you got to go through all these moves and measures to get away from a situation to preserve your safety, heaven forbid there are children involved. Okay. Because a lot of the women's shelters, they're there for women that have been domestically abused. They are hidden, and there are strict rules about the contact that they have with people outside of the shelters just to protect the women and the children that are inside of that building. That lets you know that it is not that easy to get away. Some of these men will follow these women. You can get a restraining order depending on how crazy he is. He might not care. He can still harm you. It's just a piece of paper at the end of the day. So people say, why he don't leave? It's a lot more to it than just packing up and leaving. It's a lot that goes into that. And if we take, I'm just having observed the way that they get women out of these situations. That's enough for me to keep my mouth closed when it comes to that. So I mean, I don't, I don't tell women, oh, why you just didn't leave? Especially if I'm not finna sit out here and reach out and be a helping hand to that situation, because that's a lot going on. That's a dangerous situation if you in it. It's a dangerous situation trying to get out of it. So that's not something I would say to somebody that's in this situation, because those type of questions don't help.
So let me ask you, ladies. So basically, what you're saying is that if you all is women don't have basically like celebrity presidential protection, if you're not able to have the finances or the resources to have the officer sit in front of your door overnight type shit for a couple weeks or a month or two, then you might be ass out. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's a dangerous situation when you in it, and it's a dangerous situation trying to get out of it.
Okay.
And I'm
There are women that have lost their lives trying to leave.
agreed.
Okay.
And I'm saying even if you have presidential protection, it still doesn't protect you from certain type of abuse. Think about things we've seen in the news lately where there was, I don't know if we can say names, so I'll just leave it at the scenario. You have a very wealthy music mogul who was able to harass a woman who had moved on with her life and got with somebody else. She had the money for police protection or presidential protection. But look where we're at.
Everybody know about.
Are you guys, was the last person's point made?
Nah, but real talk though. Nah, I mean, look, I mean, you know, the fact is that I mean, if it's something that's known, it's something that's known. No, I get you on that. Look, the fact that at the same time though, watch this. There are many people who also not myself, I'm just saying, you know me, I just present. There are people who do say, you know something? That is true. But what did she do to cause him to? Did she bop bop bop? Did she try to take down his empire? Chris Brown was out before Rihanna. Bop bop bop. It's a lot of stuff that, you know, on both sides of the aisle. But the thing that kills me is at the end of it, how was the response in its totality? And if it was something that caused like actual violence, like how do you even begin to at that point? You see? Like, nah, I mean, that's okay. So now it's like I can't defend you. You see? Like if you just upset and you just do like a diss video and you dancing and shit, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I bet. Yeah, go, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Do it for the fellas. But you know what I'm saying? But once you put your hands on it, it's like, oh shit. Yeah, about that one there. About that one there. Can't claim that. Can't claim it. But anyway, y'all ready to get back to the video?
Indeed.
All right, let's go ahead and get back to the video because I have something like real funny and everything after this. So I just want to kind of get through a little bit of this video to see what we got. Then we're going to go ahead. Trust me, I got like 2-3 clips that we're going to definitely enjoy. So let's go ahead and get to it. Boom, boom. All right, so hold on. Let me pull up the officer. All right, and we right back to it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's go ahead and rock back out to the video.
Came into our town.
That is a chilling, disturbing, heartbreaking description of the type of case.
Hold on. you know daggone well, whenever you're in certain states, it's going to be that much tougher.
That authorities are dealing with. We looked into Jones' criminal history. It is lengthy, it is violent, and here's what it shows. In 2011, he was arrested for arson for allegedly lighting a commercial building on fire. Then in 2015, he was arrested for carrying a gun after being convicted of the 2011 felony arson.
Now, hold on, Sunkiss, to what you said, like, it ain't no way he just popped up with that out of nowhere and that was facts. Agreed. So you telling me that she didn't know nothing about these like what? When was you see?
So
like really, they're showing
he
has a history. Like, what are we talking about?
If that girl was 14 years old when he did what he did to her, that means he started his criminal activity when she got pregnant or right when that child was born.
Come on now. This is crazy.
So perhaps the child was a trigger for him.
That just might be. That just might be a factor. I can't even say shit to that. Goddamn, touche. Let's rock out.
And a witness said in that case, he had fired the gun outside a home in Toledo. Then in 2017, we found that he was arrested for felony assault, where police say Jones smashed an alternator into the face of a man and sent him to the hospital, where he had to receive 20 stitches. Then in 2022, he was arrested again for carrying a weapon while having been a convicted felon. And the most disturbing charges, of course, now are the ones that he is facing for allegedly killing his own 13-year-old daughter. Court documents show he is charged with murder as well as assault and abduction. The court records say that Jones removed his daughter without consent of her guardian, reportedly her grandmother, from her home. The document also says that when police...
Let me ask y'all a question. Normally, what do we... Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, are we all still here? Yeah, we still here. Normally, what is it said when we hear that a child is living with either just grandma or uncle or whatever? Let's just be for real. Typically, okay, some kids drop down. Hold on, wait, let me see what she said. Okay, you good, fam, you good. We here. What typically is said, Melissa, or thought of when we know in our communities, because we all got that friend or a couple, that home girl, that boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, and we knew they lived with just a uncle or just a aunt or just grandma and them. What was the thought?
The thought was that they had unfit parents.
Facts. Let's just talk about these things, people. And it's okay. We grown now. We grown and sexy now, right? It's okay to talk about it. It ain't, And even if we're not over it, maybe we're not because we never talked about it to get over it. I personally am not one that went through it myself. You all know the story that I present, which is my upbringing, and that is the truth. But you don't think that I don't have like a bunch of like throughout 42 years of living, you don't think I don't have endless people that I've come across from my neighborhood and everything that I remember going by. Now I was just their grandma and uncle. That's it. It was just their grandma and uncle. Never met them. I don't even know what their parents look like. I don't know what they look like, more like their dad or their mom. I don't know none of that. And neither do they. And that's a real thing. Is that a bad thing? I mean, it's unhealthy. It's not conducive for the growth. But is it anybody's fault? I would say it's only the fault of the ones who just didn't choose to go about it the right way. Now, you do have a dynamic where you have folks where kids have popped up and you know what, mom and dad honestly, truly just don't know no better. Again, when I tell you, I done seen the lowest of the low of us, and I done seen the highest and the most prestigious of us. I find myself somewhere right around in the middle. But I get it. I see how we can have circumstances like this. That's why I ask questions. That's why I present shows like this. I just try my best to try to figure out. Melissa, let me know once okay. Salute. I see you. Let me know if this is too loud when I play this, okay? You let me know. Help me out. All right. Hold on. Nancy, if you don't mind. Thank you, Nancy. All right. Is that too loud? Is it like muffling me?
No.
All right, bet. So that's okay. All right, bet. I just wanted to make sure. All right, so just had to make sure I hit the ensemble. But real talk, I do get how we get to a point where the entire parameters of and how we see parenting. This is why I'm so big on not just being my child's friend, but being a friendly, authoritative figure. This is why I'm so big on teaching her about protection. This is why I'm so big on making sure that I'm just there and I'm involved. Because I know stories like this exist. And it's something that I'm really not a big fan of. But, you know, if everybody else wants to run from it, now every once in a while, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna make sure I tap in on it. I'm gonna make sure I get in on this. I get it. It's something that's not popular, but we must talk about this. Why don't we want to save the children? But you know what I found out, Melissa, that became a very, very funny statement nowadays? F them kids. Man, and you know what? It just started off as just something funny, ha ha ha. And I'm slowly starting to notice, nah, it's a real undertone factor to F them kids. Fascinating. Let's get back to it.
Police spoke with Jones. He gave inconsistent statements about where he...
Boom. Let's go ahead and do this. Hold on 1 second. Bow. Just give me 1 second. All right. Boom. All right. So now we're going to get into how all of this. Oh, shoot. My bad, y'all. You can hear it. Again, it's not easy keeping up with all of this. Now we're going to go ahead and listen to how all of this works out. There are a lot that has to deal with this. So let's listen to the lawyer. So we're going to give it a few moments on this lawyer, okay? And then we're off this video. I don't ever do no whole video. So if you thought we was about to do the whole 25 minutes, y'all, nope. Nope. So let's go ahead and get to it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's go ahead and get back to the rest of the 5 minutes of this video that we're going to get to. Then we're going to switch it up. Let's get it.
Talking about such a horrific case. The facts and circumstances of this young girl's tragic death are almost unspeakable. As that chief said, this is one of the worst cases he's ever seen. The question of what jurisdiction handles the case first or what order is usually decided as between the jurisdictions who have the cases. A lot of times we see cases that are related, but they have handles in different courts. For example, if a federal court brings charges, a federal prosecutor brings charges against an individual for certain crimes, but they're also lateral or related state charges, they'll come up with an agreement as between the two of them, which of those charges will actually be prosecuted or the order in which they'll be prosecuted. Here, this is different because there are two state courts involved. And although the incident is related, the charges are not. There is no need to prove or disprove the facts of one in order to establish the elements of the other. So they're really unrelated. So there's any number of ways that the courts could decide which of these cases is heard first. There is no statute of limitation for murder, which is what this individual is facing in Toledo. So arguably, Toledo could say, hey, look, we can pause our case indefinitely while you handle the case in Columbus because there is a statute of limitations to proceed on. They could do that by agreement. Or Columbus could say, well, your charges are much more serious and we like the evidence that you have to move forward. We will yield and allow you to prosecute him. And then if and when he's convicted, we'll decide how we want to proceed with our charges that are, quote, less serious, although they're extremely serious. Where the allegation is he had a gun and was in a shootout somehow.
So in a nutshell, basically he was born a demon, and at some point he will return back to the flames in which he protruded from. That's all I heard. Did you hear anything else? I don't know. I'm just asking. Did you hear anything else? I didn't hear anything else. I just heard that he was a demon that protruded from the flames, and he's going to go ahead and go back to there. I'll leave it there.
I heard.
Hey, hold on. So for the record, y'all, in case y'all wonder who we are up here, I'm the one on the spin wheel, and she's the one that wants to take over the world.
What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
The Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane.
Go ahead.
Well, I gotta be short with a big head, though. But anyway.
I mean, why I gotta have a straitjacket on with my tongue flipping out and I'm bouncing across the screen and shit?
I feel like that's not even the point. I feel like you just wanted to be the hamster on the wheel to show that you are exercising and trying to keep up with yourself. No, but so here's where my thought is going to meet your ending. So before then, you played the clip and it was saying something about being raised by his grandmother. As some of you know, and some of you, most of you don't. I am a grandmother of 8. You know what I mean? So take into consideration that this was this young man's and I have grandsons. So I've raised now my grandson for whatever reason. My daughter or my son, they can't. So in our community, again, we trying to keep our baby from being put in the system. So now we done raised this boy to the best of our ability, again, raised with all them demons. You feel me? We sent him out into the street. We thinking that our boy is good. And then this is what it is. Like, even then, me as a grandma is wrestling, like, God, dog, you know what I mean? So much to your end, it's, I will even go as far to say this. There are some parents, grandparents, guardians who literally have tried everything, and they are waiting for the system to step in. Much to what was said a little bit earlier, some of us are pushing them out there because we're like, well, shit, we can't do nothing else with you behind closed doors. We can't keep, cloak, lie, cheat, steal, cover up, nothing else. At this point, you probably beating on your mama and your grandma. In those case scenarios, we do have to push him out there. But I am saying that even though he has demons now, I'm pretty sure that wasn't his grandmother's direction for him when she had to take him in. The pressure, the press that was on her, the, again, unspoken rule of our community and what we're obligated to do and not do, because we don't want to turn that baby over into the system. Now, because she didn't turn her baby over into the system or her grandbaby over into the system, this grown man has now emerged. Is it her fault? I digress. My mic is muted.
Okay now. All right, so
fair use of stealing that for a second or something, just in case.
All right, like did good luck trying to tell everybody else who done said it by now. Nah, it's just, you know. So this is the one part that I am on more than anything. This is where truly I am. So I recognize that the number one thing that has been lost that was so prevalent, that at least was the glue, the bond that held up our community, was value system. That's right. And we taken that abbreviation of value system and we turned it into man versus women in this side. And so my point is in saying that is that when we've had so many divisive factors that have taken place, and with that being said,
Wilson, what are you doing?
Hi, Hotem. I'm just testing my maracas.
Yay! Usually when I have mine tested, the doctor makes me turn my head and cough. Happy hour, Wilson?
all right now. So I'm, with me learning and figuring all of this out, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. The headspace is completely different. Value system is completely just obliterated. I need you to think about something. Anytime that we speak about any other culture, race, when people try to make that like false ass BS complaint, statement like, yeah, because they do this and we don't do that. What are they talking about? A value system. Their women don't do this, their men don't do that. Value system. How they raise their kids is this, the foods they eat is that. Value system. And I do believe that, although I still don't want to hear that because I got clear, evident proof that you can go overseas all you want and you can still find some ignorant hush. Just look at when I talked to my man PA Texas. Shout out to him. And a lot of people know about that whole live and that whole everything. He is somebody who travels overseas to get other women. And guess what? He said he wound up having to drive off in a rental car from there while having bottles and rocks and shit thrown at the car. And she tried to bust out the windshield. Does that not sound like some Friday shit from here in the hood? So my point is, it's all over the world. And I get it. But I'm going to go ahead and let my man Soap get in here. Y'all go ahead and wrap up for a second. I'm going to run to the fridge. I'll be right back in 2 minutes. I'm back when I came up. Bye.
What's up, sis?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I'm glad to see
what's
you here.
I am
Sometimes
glad
you
to see
gotta
you
pop
as
out and
well.
show 'em. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Kendrick. I'm not even gonna get into my Kendrick or Drake rant. I'm not even gonna do it. But what are y'all building on? If I may ask, I just came in to show love.
So I'm trying to think of how to scoot to the last point. We're kind of talking about, well, the moral of the story was backstory of a father who unalived his daughter after he assaulted her and decapitated her, darn near cut her hands off. The responsibility that plays in the community and our community, men keeping men accountable, women and the choices that they make for these men, the excuses that we make as a culture, whether or not we feel like that's our responsibility, and we're taught that we have to protect the Black man regardless of what he does. Is it dangerous to call the police on a Black man regardless of his crime? Are there exceptions to the rule? Jump in wherever you want.
I'm gonna say this. When it comes to our people, we gotta hold each other accountable, no matter what gender, right? Because we don't really have the luxury to wait, right? You know what I mean? We ain't got that comfort level. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I know that you're doing something out of pocket, sis, I gotta call you out on it. Vice versa, right? We gotta be on some Black Panther type stuff. And the reason I say that is because, um, life doesn't allow us to, nor does the political and social, you know, environment allow us to do that, right? Where we have the comfort of just waiting for the other gender to possibly step in. That's one. But I also think that in relationships, whether it's parents to kids or whatever relationships that we have within our culture, yeah, our communication. I always say communication is key, and we don't communicate like that. We just don't. Not the way we need to, not on the level that we need to. That's clear. And because we don't do that, that's why we have a lot of dysfunction. That's why we have a lot of, we see people, unaliving their kids, or kids unaliving their parents, or, we've seen recently in years a spike where we're seeing people unaliving the whole family, right? They and themselves, right? We ain't really see that in our community like that. That really wasn't happening. You know what I mean? But I think the more we fed into how the other side do relationships and how they express relationships, we see an increase in that. You know what I mean? And we gotten away from how we did relationships. back in the day, right? Not saying it was perfect, but we had like an outline of how we did everything. You know what I mean? Um, and it was in everything, culture, music, everything. Um, I would use a song reference, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Unless I'm asked to. But with that being said, we had different references in our culture to
Are you gonna
know.
sing, sir? All right. So
Well,
hold on. Wait a
I'm
minute.
not singing at all. I'm not singing at
No, no,
all.
no, no. It's okay, y'all. Basically, this is Soap singing.
Timepiece Frosty, that's why you only get one chance to cross me.
Voices
I
by
wish I,
Soap.
I
Voices.
wish I could sing like our brother Jaheim. Jaheim, man, could it be my chrome that will? Let me stop. Let me stop right there. Hey.
Hide
Let
your
me tell you
kids,
something.
hide your wife.
Listen,
I'm about to
if
get this
you
thing kicked off though. We about to get lit. We about to there you go the goddamn pump again. Yeah, we're gonna get lit. I'll be right back.
let me just say this real quick, right? If you're not from the East Coast, right, and you may not be from the East Coast, so you don't understand. Jaheim is an East Coast. He's an East Coast type of fascination. This happened around the early to mid 2000s. Jaheim came in there, and yeah, people in the East Coast, we was bumping him heavy. I don't care if he was in New York. I don't care if he was in the DMV. I don't care if he was in Florida. Jaheim was an East Coast staple. All right.
Timepiece Frosty, that's why you only get one chance to cross me.
Yeah, because he really was like street, and we really liked what he did. But he could sing too. But that's a whole nother conversation for another time. And I land there. Basically what I'm saying is that to land my point, our community needs to communicate more because communication is key, and we gotta get that down packed, and we gotta figure out how we want to do relationships overall. And that's it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay now. Okay now. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to take a very, very quick commercial break. Of course, as you all know, right? We're gonna take a quick commercial break. This commercial break right here is going to be brought to you by. It's brought to you by um, the Poisonous Petals, and Just Keep Going. Respect.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I gotta keep going. 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 I don't half step cause I know the full truth. The devil cooking, he don't know that I could cook too. When life give me pressure, I still show the good fruit. I treat it like my last rep and I just push through. I don't believe in failure cause I can't afford it. And if it ain't meant for me, then I ain't about to force it. I think about the victory and trigger my endorphins. The mission too important, ain't no way I could abort it. So I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going.
All right, we here. Let's go ahead and get it. So I have a video. All right, y'all. I got a video that I've been waiting to go ahead and get to. All right. So this one right here is from your folks, right? All right. So this conversation got a little heated, got a little spicy, right? All right. So I want y'all to tell me what y'all think of this right here. Okay. Are we all ready for this right here? Are we all ready? Are we all ready? So let's see. Oh, no, hold on. My bad, y'all. I done hit the wrong button. I apologize. I'm trying to up here get ready as best I can. I gotta hit this. Now I gotta hit this. There we go. All right, so all right. So Melissa, can I ask you a question?
Anytime.
All right. So I want you to follow up with your answer before I pull this up because we are all set and fired up, good to go. Okay. I want to ask you this question. Who are better cheaters, men or women, and why?
Who's better cheaters? I don't
Yeah,
know.
like basically, you know how people would, because I don't even know why we would say that because it sounds ridiculous, but let's just say who's better at, I guess you can say, getting away with it for the longest period of time, because the fact is all truth comes to light at some point. So
I
that's why I
mean,
don't even know why people say that shit.
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, they obviously didn't get away with it for so long if they got caught, or they did get away with it if they didn't. So I don't know if the tally up would be accurate. But I mean, for the sake of the conversation, I don't really know because women will say, "Oh, it's men because they be lying," and men will say, "Oh, it's women because they're more sneaky and calculated." So, um, yeah, I don't know how to really answer that question. I've never cheated, so I can't tell you if I've been smoother than the person that cheated on me. I always found out, it's to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, now. So you want to go ahead and answer before we go ahead and push play?
Yes, sir. Cheating is it is a personality defect, right? Um, brought on by narcissism and bitterness,
Wow.
and
Wow.
no, I'm keeping it 100 over here right now.
I know that's why I'm like, wow.
Yeah, narcissism, bitterness, and a lot of times, repressed feelings are hurt, right? Um, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Or depression. Depression is another thing, right? Where people would just they so depressed they just got to feel something, so they just go into everything, right? Like they trying to hit everything, right? So because they want to feel good about themselves, they don't feel good. They really feel um hopeless, so they just feel like I got attached to something, whether they're with someone or not doesn't really matter. Um, that's
Mm.
so that's one. Now there's two different forms of it, right? So that is the form of somebody who's really is down on themselves and they really hate their life. So of course they're gonna do a thing. But then there's another cheater who's a narcissist. A narcissist, right? And that could be either male or female, right? And then the versions of that is it could be, and these are dangerous people. You know what I mean? It can either be like a succubus or incubus. I've covered some of this on my podcast before. Um, and these are personality types where forgive the outside noise, my family here. So, you know what I mean? That's a personality type where, you know what I mean, they are just manipulating people and using people to get what they want, right? And so when you encounter these people, you just gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful, and you gotta understand where all this is coming from. You gotta understand like who these people are and why they're doing the things that they're doing. You know what I mean? And try not to and don't engage with them on that type of level. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
now. Okay.
and the thing is that these people can be helped, right? The narcissist one, they really can't be helped. They just gotta burn. Um, you know what I mean? So but
Mm.
but the other one to
Hmm.
definitely be helped. They can definitely be they can definitely be, someone can definitely work on their character. You know what I mean, to get through that. But I'll land there, y'all.
All right, nah. I appreciate you cooking your food as well, chef. Thank you very much for obliging the kitchen. Very much so. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and
Hello,
listen to
sir.
this right here. All right, you already know, man. It's always love. Um, Melissa, I want you to answer this first when I pause it, okay? So let's go ahead and rock out. And with that being said, Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all for watching. Let's rock out.
Be players too. I know you had that down. What made you think about that topic?
Cool,
Basically, because everybody's singing that song, and I'm just like, the lyrics are very detailed. Like,
Let me know when you want me to pause.
basically how she, like, how a man would deliver that song. And so I'm divorced. I've been like over 2 years or whatever. So like I'm in the dating scene now. Let's not get into that.
I'm very surprised.
About to say you a player.
Yes, I was divorced, and all that. But my what is y'all definition of a player though? Like, what do you think a player is as a man?
I think somebody who's just blatantly just misleading or misleading a person, or has a list of potential.
Boy, I'm just looking for the right one. I'm just looking for the right one.
Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no!
No. Player originally just simply meant the dude who's smooth and cool with the ladies. Manipulation, all of that other stuff, no, because I don't like how we take stuff and exacerbate it and try to make it something it never really meant in the first place. That's not the case. No, player just I know how to play the game of how this relationship field work, just like how women have known how to do for the longest. So one day, men came up with some kind of term and we just said player. Now, I would say, was it the best term? Was it the best word to use? Could we have used something that would be much more better? That wouldn't make, now today, it would age better if you want to say absolutely. There are many words that I think that could be used. Now, I just always kept the term gentleman. That's it. I'm a gentleman. And through being a gentleman, there are people who say, nah, you got to be a player. No, I'm not a player. I am. I'm just a gentleman. I know how to court, accommodate, and treat the lady that I am with. I know exactly what to do to make her feel comfortable in every sense of the word. So am I playing her? No, I'm not. But do I know how to play the game of how to make sure that she don't want to haul ass and up out of my house all fast? Yes. That's my point. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Anybody got something to say behind that?
Not behind you specifically. I want to kind of get Mr. Best to finish or to repeat the statement about succubus.
Oh.
Because there's a point to that, but I need you to take me back a couple steps, please.
No problem. Incubus.
God have mercy upon us.
Incubus or succubus. Some people call it a sex demon.
I know what they are. I just want you to explain. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just don't want you to have to.
Sorry, sis.
I don't want you to have to say more than you have to, because I know you want to get back to being quiet, Charlie of the Angels. But nonetheless, just in the statement that you made in reference to this, can you repeat that statement?
So in reference to this, you know what I mean? 'Cause I see a lot of young people up here. On this thing, young people they kind of be blending a lot of different, I don't want to say chemicals, I don't know what the hell to call it, lifestyles, whatever else. So they not, even though they may have some of them traits going on, a lot of them I don't even think really care, to be honest with you. And they just kind of riding dirty. You know what I mean? As all young people do at a certain time. We did it when we was young at certain points, but with them, they just have more access to do certain things. So and I think their view on men and women is much more multi-layered than ours is. We have more of a traditional look where it's like, even the way we view gender is a lot different than them. So they're kind of playing Grand Theft Auto when it comes to dating. If that makes sense.
Yes.
And so so their perception is different. So It don't surprise me about anything they say. They can say they dating a cat, and I'll be like, okay, like literally.
Okay,
So
so you're saying that because of that Fast and Furious, that Grand Theft Auto, that's what makes them. That's what engrafts the succubus incubus part is that uh, it's a part of the culture or the
of
understanding or the lack
course,
thereof of how
of
things
course,
work.
but they don't. But then I'm sorry to cut you off, sister. Go ahead.
Mm-mm. You didn't. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that they don't even care.
Yeah.
Most for the most part, they don't even care, and a lot of them are
Do,
doing it to somebody else, so they don't care.
okay.
You know what I mean?
So, do you think that's a result of um, parents becoming younger and younger? So then the children are being raised by not only younger and younger, but younger and less informed, less educated in a lot of places, blah, 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 blah. So then the only thing they have to turn to is the projection that's put up there. Like babies are basically being raised by Kindles and tablets type thing.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
Um, mm, yes, because we created that world for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like Tron. Like Tron, the guy created the program, and the program spread, and the program had good things and it had toxic things. You know what I'm saying? So it's somewhat like that.
Perfect answer.
Um, so let me build on it a little bit more. Let me build on it a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more. Um, you know what I mean? Like the thing is a simple fact that you know, they are. If you look at our generation, most of our generation, because our parents were part of the crack era,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't, we didn't, we didn't, you know what I mean? We didn't have certain things, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't have certain, certain aspects of relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not because, and not all of us, because some of us did grow up with both parents, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Smitty. Smitty was fortunate enough to grow up with both parents. That was a blessing, right?
Shout out to my mom and dad.
Shout out to mom and dad, yo, for real. You know what I mean? But
Twice.
Smitty's an anomaly. I wish I grew up like Smitty, to be honest with you. My life would be a lot different. Be
Hey,
way
no, no,
better.
no. Wait. Stop. I got to. Nah, bump this shit. Bump the scenery. Bump everything. Bump everything, dog. Let me tell y'all something real quick. All right. Let me. Man, hold up, man. Real quick. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Because of where I grew up, you not know how much I learned from those who didn't grow up with their mom and dad. Let me tell you something. Where here it is, I'm still saying my daughter can stay with me till she's 26. And I do believe that that's beneficial. Let me tell y'all something. I was loved so much that it also somewhat stagnated me. I was, I was spoiled when it came to love, not like material. So when I say spoiled, don't think like it was always like fancy. No, no. I wore pro wings and McGregor's. Like, what you talking about? Like, stop playing with me. Okay. I was size when I got me some LA Gear light ups. Okay. I'm not that. No starter. I never got that. I never got Eddie Bauer. Everybody remember back in the day here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that. My peoples didn't allow me to wear Timbs. I come from the days where they say you get shot for those. Yeah, once upon a time, our parents wouldn't buy us Timberland boots because they said you would get shot for them.
Or Jordans.
Come on, man. Y'all forget. See, yeah, no, I come from that time. What I'm saying is that what I learned from my peoples who didn't have both parents, yo, they were the ones that really had me on my work hustle. Majority of the people that I hung out with that really had that go get it spirit in them was those who came from the broken home. And guess what? Majority of the people that I grew up with, somebody mute, somebody. And majority of the people that I grew up with, of course, you know, there are the factors where the upbringing did lead to what we know that we talk about. Hey, bro, nah. Majority of the people that I grew up with that didn't have both parents, might have had just grandma and an uncle, bro, they own businesses and all kinds of shit. They had to have that go get it in them. Where here it is, yeah, y'all talk about how well taken care of I was, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you right now, with someone who grew up in that fashion, you know why? Do you know what we found fascinating about you all who didn't have both parents? Your go-get-itness. I've always been so infatuated with that. Did you know that? Did you know that you all who didn't have both your parents is part of why I got a lot of what I got in me as well? Because that was majority of my friends. Yes, you're right. I was the anomaly. And I got tired of being called the spoiled one and shit. You see what I'm saying? So like I hustled. And then guess what? Majority of my family, that's what I'm trying to make it clear. I'm not talking about friends in the street. Bro, this is coming from my blood. My bloodline. My mom is second out of 7. Number 2 out of 7. Second oldest. Rest in peace of my Uncle David. All right. My mom
family for real.
My mom comes from where she's the only one out of all 7 of them. It's only her and my Uncle Tracy. Number 2 and number 7 are the only ones that are still here. Everybody else, including my grandma, are gone because of the lifestyle. I come from that shit, bro. Whether it's bad health, drinking, drug use, locked up, whatever you think. So like, bruh, I used to like have my peoples tell me, why you keep going back around the way over to there with your grandma and them when you know we moved you away from there? My parents used to get mad when they would call. My mom would sneak and call my grandma's house on behalf of my dad, because my mom didn't really care, because she understood kind of, you know what I'm saying? Mom's was more hit. My dad was the one more preppy, like, why is he over there? He better not be eating no bacon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what they doing over there, because my peoples knew over my grandma's house it was more free. And I attracted to that. You know why? Because I recognize it wasn't a structure there that I had at home, but somehow or another they always kept shit going. It's so crazy how like in like them hood house, like I've seen more unity at times in them hood households where like auntie gotta hide her cereal in her trunk of her car, all that shit. Like, nigga, we know about all them like moves and shit, so everybody don't eat it up. Because we all piled up with one another. And I always found the fascination of how somehow or another they always kept it going. Always kept it going. So don't ever get that shit twisted. Like, I come from it. My peoples just was able to move away from it. But I kept on going back. I kept on going back because it was something about that broken unity that fascinated the dog shit out of me. And I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Think of it a whole soliloquy for nothing. No, but I'm joking. I got to mess with Smitty a little bit. No, but Smitty,
Yeah.
it didn't hinder you at all, bro. It's just the fact that me and those who represent my community from where we come from, we broken. We the broken, bro. You are living the Black American dream. You and your parents is what Dr. King and Malcolm X. It's gonna be deep right here, man. I'm getting emotional by saying this. You know what I mean? But you are what Dr. King and Malcolm X. You what they transcended for, bro. You are the Black American dream. Don't ever say that it hindered you. Just because we are broken or I'm broken. Or I'm not emotionally able to love the way I need to love. Don't ever want to be that. Ever. We gotta hustle because we don't know no other way. Because ain't nobody loving us the way they should be. But you are what we are. You are where we need to be, bro. And we striving to be. Trust me. That's why I
Don't
said
don't
what I
don't
said.
don't no wait. No, I gotta stop you there, dog. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. Not me.
No, I'm saying, but your parents put you in that position, and you carrying on legacy with yourself
Okay.
and your
I
daughter.
mean, just, all right. Let me shut up, man.
Yeah,
All right.
take your
I'm having a
flowers,
hard
brother.
time
Take the flowers
receiving
and the
this right
love.
now. I don't know why, bro. Like, all
Yeah,
right.
take the love and the flowers, bro. You know what I'm saying? And salute that your parents did that, man, and that they are that, and that you're that, bro. You know what I mean? And that's like I said, that's what the Panthers fought everything for, is for you to be you and for your parents to be them. You know what I'm saying? And that's just facts. But to answer Lady Melissa's question to the full as well, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to lose it. Um, our generation didn't really have, like I said, what Brother Smitty had, right? Not a lot of us did. So when we started having kids, right? And our generation started having kids, and now they grown, and now they doing the daily wrap ups and all that, right? That's so young as we ain't on there like that. We may make an appearance, but we ain't on there like that, right? So for the youngest who are not middle age, right, and it's a lot of them, a whole lot of them, they are dating in that way, not just based on the foundation that we laid, because we had to make up for the old school, and then we had to build our own, and then we had to raise them. So we had to do 3 jobs at once. So that's hard, right? That's super hard. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we gave them as much as we could, right? And some of us didn't give them, what they needed. We did drop the ball in certain areas, but we gave them a hell of a lot more than what the old school gave us, to be honest with you, right? So, you know what I mean? That's why therapy is okay now within our community. That's why all that comes from us. We made that okay. You know what I mean? And we get.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
And a lot of people don't even want to admit that shit. So
They don't want to admit that, Smitty.
Man, cook that
We
shit,
built
bro.
that.
Cook that shit.
I built that. You built that. Lady Melissa built that. We built that. We, the millennials, we built that, bro. Us.
And
We
they don't
built
be trying to give us
technology.
credit, bro. They always talk
They
about
don't.
only, listen, watch this. It's the complete, like, was like 15, 20 years after us that's so-called like we're the face. Or it's the like 15, 20 years before us, we're the face. It's like, bro, do y'all not realize us as them as some early 80s babies, them like late, I say like from like a I say from like a
Millennials are 79
yeah,
to
bro,
89,
like a
something like that. Yeah.
79 through like a 92 or something, bro. 90
Yup.
something. Bruh, like that's it. That was it. Anything and everything after that, I'm dead ass. We literally was the last rings and drops of like true chivalry and respect. Knowing what
Yeah.
it's like to be from the age of the what we would call Stone Age, if you want to say, into technology. We know what all of this looks like, the entire transition. And even that what came before us, we was big on it. Why? Because it was put in our face 24/7. Those of me, I was born 82. I know almost every single Fred and Sanford show just as much as the people who watched it when it first came out and I wasn't even born.
Facts.
Same thing with Good Times.
Same thing. Yeah, definitely Good Time. Good Time.
Come on, man. And I was not born when none of these episodes were filmed. But I know just as many episodes as the people that were alive. That has something to do with what was placed before us, sir.
And I wanna get on Netflix and Hulu and all that. Y'all niggas
We
need
right
to
here,
give us
girl.
Perfect
We right
Strangers.
here.
Netflix and Hulu, y'all need to give us Perfect Strangers, all right? Okay, put that on syndication. I don't care if it's
Oh
Netflix,
my
Hulu, Disney
gosh.
Plus, whatever. We want Perfect Strangers, all right? We want Bounty.
Okay. Everybody. Okay. So let's stay on topic. Netflix. So wants that right there. He wants Charles and Charles, Charles and Charge, and Step by Step. Okay. All right. So please bring that back for Soap, okay? And don't forget also.
Watching it too. Don't let Smitty fool you.
No, exactly. And just to make sure that we really understand the show that Soap really, actually, truly wants to come back here.
Wilson, what are you doing? Hi, Hotem. I'm just testing my maracas.
Usually when I have mine tested, the doctor makes me turn my head and cough. Happy hour, Wilson?
Please bring all of these shows
Truth
back
be
for
told
show.
though, I was a step-by-step person, yup. Truth be told though, I'm not really
Hey,
a
Cody
home
was
improvement
my
type of
man.
dude.
Go ahead.
I'm not a home improvement type of dude. I'm more of a Wonder Years type of dude, but we're not gonna go there right now.
One day, there you go with that
But
shit. Go
first
ahead.
Wonder Years, not this new one
Let
with the
me
black
go
people.
ahead and pull
Shout out
this
to the black
video
people.
up because his ass. What different strokes? What? Oh yeah.
All that.
That
But
was it.
let me
That was
land
it.
my plane real quick, Schmidt. Let me land my plane so I don't forget my thoughts. So yes, they are dating the way that they're dating, and they're not really caring about none of that stuff I'm talking about, Lady Melissa, because they just doing everything. They're doing literally everything and possibly everyone. So literally, physically, intimately, and everything else. So conversationally, everything else. So that's how they're dating, and that's their perception. And it's not on us to try to fix them. You know what I mean? We need to accept them, love them, and then try to give them some guidance. But they gotta listen. And a lot of you young niggas don't like to listen. And I'm laying there.
Melissa.
Present. Okay. So again, let me go backwards because y'all be going. So I have a lot to catch up on. So going all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, it's his fault. My bad. Blame Soap.
So I would go all the way back to the succubus and incubus. And the reason being is because I want to pose a question, but I promise I don't want y'all to answer it. I just want to get to the end because if not, I'll lose my thoughts. So succubus and incubus, right? And the things, my question or my note, please just take a note so you can answer it after the fact. And I mean that most respectfully. Succubus and incubus have a child, Cambria. You know what I mean? So my question is somewhat, are we able to say that this generation is responsible for what it is? Are they the Cambrians or are they the succubus and incubus, right? Because they are the youth. So did we put them in that position? Then you said, who's the boss? What you mean? Please.
It was a TV show. It's a TV show. Keep going. No,
Okay.
it's a TV show.
So with that being said, I think that there's some of a responsibility. Again, I don't know if it's because we are having younger parents that are seeing a different projective of what being parents are, what men and women have been defined as now, more racy, less valuable, or whatever dynamic they're all in, right? There was another part that was touched on about your privilege. And you saying, why did you like the hood better, or why did you like that relatable situation? And I would bring you back to prior conversation, which is, how do I know that you're my best friend, or how do I know that you rock with me until we've been through something together? So a lot of people are forged. A lot of our community are forged in the struggle, and that's why it feels more comfortable, because you can't be selfish and have 7 children, your aunt, uncle, cousins, and all that secret baby mommy had to hide at the grandma's house or down in the South, down the country, wherever. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, you do end up being forged together in a struggle. Now, where some people in our community get it effed up at, and where I understand that you're clearly trying to define the lines, is that some people become bougie niggas, for lack of a better term. And so then when you get your 40 acres and a mule, it's like, fuck you, get yours. I got mine, you get yours. So then you leave the people back there. And it's like, damn, that's fucked up. Not saying we're entitled to your shit, but I'm just saying some people are gatekeepers on how they even got it. Some people won't teach anybody to read or write so that they can fill out the paperwork.
I actually spoke about that as far as I was wondering, when we learn something, is it our obligation to give it back to the community, or are you to take that information and say, run, nigga, run? That's on y'all. I don't know. So, Melissa,
Okay,
I
so
was just chiming in. I was just chiming in.
If I may respond to your statements, right?
yeah, please go ahead.
Are we responsible for how they do things in the younger generation? Yeah, but just like our parents were responsible for us, that's true. But we also made our own rules and made our own decisions. So it's a two part. So yes, a double edged sword. Yeah, we are responsible, but also, I mean, that's on them too, though, because a lot of them do have parents in the home, and that's the difference. We were there. We wasn't trying to be like our parents. We were there. So a lot of them do come from parents being in the house. They just want to do what they want to do. Trust me, I know. I live with one. This youngin in here, yo, she can go to me, my woman, her grandparents. Yo, we spoil the shit out of this one. You know what I mean? And still, they still has the attitude. That's just what they do. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying the youngin grew up perfectly because it didn't, but the support is extremely there, way more than I ever had. I'm just gonna be honest, especially at that age. So I land there.
I
Okay, now.
appreciate. We can get to the next point because I can't get to the end of mine, so I digress. I literally just asked if I can make a point after I listened to everybody talk for like 20 minutes respectfully. I can't get that point made, so let's get to the next point.
Please make your point, beloved.
Yeah, if you don't talk,
No, I honestly don't want to because that's the only thing I asked for was the opportunity to get to my point, which came with another footnote, which took the conversation somewhere when I was already going in a straight line.
Was
I'm
that
asking
was that was that me?
respectfully. Hold on.
Did I take
I'm
it
just
somewhere?
asking respectfully if I can make my point the same way I'm patient to let everybody make theirs. And now that point has been lost. So yeah, we can go to the next point.
Okay, so I don't know. I
my
don't know.
apologies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what just happened. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. So we will go ahead real quick, briefly. We are going to take a very, very quick commercial break, and this commercial break is brought to you by Black Coffee Kings. And we're just going to go ahead and woosah real quick and bring it right on back to tranquility, respect to the family.
These messages will be right back.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna now that we have woosah, I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead. Let's go. What? Yeah, yeah, I'm right here with you. You be tripping. Oh man, see, I'm one that gets it. So now that we have woosah,
We had Wusa the whole time.
no, I want no. Just no. That was for me. I'm
Oh,
gonna say we because I incorporate y'all in what I need for myself at that moment. I just don't want to sound selfish. You know what I'm
you
saying?
needed Wusa?
Yeah, I needed to woosah real quick.
Oh, that's tough.
You
I
know,
thought everybody was like at liberty. My bad. I didn't mean to cause any
Nah,
discomfort.
this ain't no Liberty commercial with the ostrich or the
I'm not
lemur.
here to be foot fungus or jock itch. I promise. I
All right, so everybody, I would like to introduce the oh so lovely, the oh so wonderful.
She's here. Sorry, I just need 1 minute to make sure I look good.
Oh, well acquainted. Everybody's well acquainted. Everybody, this is Melissa, and she's from PG, and just like myself, we both can be very, very kind, but we both can go off on your ass in a heartbeat. That's just what it is, and that's just what it's going to be. It's just what it's going to be. All right, so we're going to get back to this video. While she gives us, while she
Melissa,
gives,
you want to spell that Malysa, but if you flip it around and pronounce it again, it sounds like asylum. And yeah, I know that shit's crazy. Carry on.
yeah, it is pretty much, So, now that we are back in our so lovely padded room with Jello scoops, all right, and TV time that on the channel we can't turn it. Let's go ahead and get back to it. Now that we're back on the fifth flow, You wild as shit. Oh, man, shit. Anyway, let's play the video, dog.
Right, and having sexual intercourse.
The resident player.
That's not a player. A player is a person that keeps it real with a real player is a person that keeps it real with you and have multiple options with you, knowing you
And
have
I don't agree with that.
That's
because that's how the Mac gave it up. He was real.
Yeah, a player.
And he had multiple women.
A player. Now, a nigga that's doing all that up, what you define, that's a dickhead or a fuck nigga or a fuck boy.
I don't
You know what I'm
really
saying?
think
So a player is a person that's playing the game that you know that the game is being played. That's why they say two can play that game. So you
Well, that's
know
when you
know
find
the game.
out.
I did not know he was going to say that, but honestly, that is primarily what I was describing. Like, no, we this the game of relationships. That's all. Like, I'm a play. Like, I know, I'm in it. I'm in this shit. Like, I know what it is. I know how y'all move. I know like y'all little secret codes. Hey, when y'all get to speak of something, I don't know. Melissa, have you ever heard of something like igada, agada, woogada? It's something like a pig Latin, right? So like us as guys, like we grew up learning like every last one of y'all codes and everything. And so when we say player, I've never used that term for myself, right? But I do understand what the definition has originally always meant. I don't know where this new shit came from.
That he's playing though.
No. There's dudes out here that's telling you like, "Oh, I'm keeping my options open. It's cool. Let's date."
I don't think that's playing though.
Being honest.
Yeah, I feel like that's being
honest, being
open.
synonymous with being a player.
But because you're doing it with multiple
He's
women.
saying it in the back in the daytime. Think about what he just said.
But does a dude that we would consider to be a player not have more like what if I said I'm a happily married player? Like you'd be like, what? So generally, when we think of a dude that is a player, like usually we do associate that with you have multiple options. Bare minimum, you got like 2 to 3. Like it's definitely more than one that's on your like list. when we think of that word in its original text, my only thing is I don't know where all the definitions got misconstrued. You smell me now? You got anything, Melissa?
I think that they pretty much were redefined by age, culture, things of that nature, trying to um, keep our culture as unique and as black and magical as possible by having our own lingo, our own style, things that we were hoping, I believe in its origin, couldn't be infiltrated. It was
Right.
distinctly and uniquely ours, i.e. Pig Latin. You know what I mean? I.e. the history lesson that you gave me on Pig Latin. Ose alne ione, airway it case from. You know what I mean? So with that being said, these are just things that we do that are us. And so maybe, like you said, the definition of player then and the definition of player now could have literally been I got a better example. We thought that a diva was one thing until Beyonce hit the top of the charts with her definition. Now, no matter what somebody told you before, maybe it was Patti LaBelle and it was because she was matter of fact and pristine. It was Whitney Houston because she was accurate, pristine. Whatever we thought it was in its origin, once Beyonce said it's a female version of a hustler, you now have a generation that's all beehives that will define it as that from here on out. So that's where that came from.
Nah. Real talk. That's an actual good point, though. Huh.
Same as Paris Hilton when she was trendy and she was like, oh, that's hot. You know what I mean? Whether we said it first, she said it first, she picked it up from us at a hood party because I believe she was partying with us and still do. But anyway, that's her business. Anyway, we know where she was hanging out at, but anyway, but yeah, when she said that, it went because it was trendy, because it got somebody 15 minutes of fame, because it got you some attention, it now became that demure. And a lot of our terms, and no disrespect to the alphabet community, but a lot of our terms were literally washed through the LGBTQ community. So now, is diva still the same thing? Is mother the same thing? No, for their culture, it's not.
Right.
I land there.
No, that makes sense. Let's see what we got.
He's being honest about it. But he has multiple women. That's what a player was. When you look at the Mac and all those movies, the pimp walk and all that, those is what guys did. They were players.
Well, I personally feel like a player in today's society is somebody that, like, first of all, nobody wants to date with intent these days. So everybody thinks it's cool to not settle down. It's cool to like have multiple women and not try to be open with them, saying like, hey, I'm dating around, I'm seeing this person, or I'm just not ready for all that. A player is no.
I do believe that, honestly, as a man who is very serious, who has gone through definitely his fair share of the exact same thing as far as I find myself many times where I'm the only one that's as serious as I am. And once they realized that I was like, that woman really realized I'm talking about something substantial. I have had circumstances where like they have hightailed. And I'm only saying that to say that I realize that that's just a circumstance of us as people. I hate, the gender thing. This whole thing of like certain stuff is just us as men, just y'all know. It's a lot of stuff nowadays because of how society has been molded and shifted. There are a lot of things that is just, now we can just say that's just people. Like that's not even something we can just put on dudes, we can just put on women. Like, nah, that's just people now. And that's the only thing I'm saying with that. So with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Yeah, I don't do the he say, she say, your fault, her fault shit. I don't do that. It's not productive and it doesn't get us anywhere. It just keeps us going in a repetitive cycle and circle of always trying to figure out whose fault is it, when the fact is it possibly could be neither one of our faults. And maybe that was the trick that the, slave master has placed upon us. It all depends on how you look at And when I say slave master, I ain't even talking about just slavery. I'm talking about how society is ran. The slave master could be your phone. The slave master could be your social media. It's a lot deeper than what you know.
Knowing that you're having sex with this person, you're having sex with that person, you're having sex with that person, and you're telling all of them, like, no, it's just you. Like, no, I'm good. I feel like that's a play.
Yeah, that's a fuck.
That's a new term, but for me, I feel like that's a player.
And she based it off the generation that we are now living in, because things change with generation, so our terms are changing too.
I can't consider myself a
very true
player if I'm manipulating or taking something from a woman. Or
then what would you consider yourself?
A fuckboy. Yeah.
According to Urban Dictionary, it says a player, usually male, who plays with a woman's emotion until he gets them to have feelings for him and then ends the relationship.
Yeah, but wait. Now watch this, y'all. Now I want us to pay attention to something. I ain't. Where is he getting the information from? What is in his hand? It is a device. Okay. The fact is this. Almost every definition you can think of has been misconstrued, has been switched up, changed, or whatever it might be. Something different. It's not what it used to be. The fact is this. I want us to understand something, why this is so weird to me, man. He's Googling something that has always been something that has been what it was as long as what has been, and it still is what it is, but nobody ever had to Google the information. Melissa, how many times when we say I'm a player, no, you not. How many times did you see somebody say, wait till I hit this internet? I'm gonna type that shit in. Wait till you see what this say. Like this is where, for folks like myself and many others, this whole everything gets really weird. It gets weird. I need you to look at him right now and like shout out to the Brody, you know what I'm saying? But like in this moment right here, he's in a phone, which will, Lord knows what he's on, that what's the source? And now I understand why people say, nah, I bet I hear you, but what's the source? Because he could be reading that from somewhere that was like derived by like somebody, let's just say, who wants to give it a bad name. A group, an organization, a coalition of folks that want to give it a bad name. My point is, there is no good name for it. I only know a good name for what a gentleman is and what a husband is. That's it. Those are only two examples I know. But I'm just saying, if we're going to take stuff and throw it way out of the ballpark of what we all know it once was, like, let's think about it. Us as Black people need, this is crazy, man. Us as Black people are pulling out phones to try to decipher the definition of hood terms. Somebody tell me if I'm the only one that does not see what the F is wrong with that right now. This is a group of Black people who are talking about hood terms, ebonics, however you want to put it. And we pull out a phone. The definition that's in that phone, who derived it? So now here it is. We are so divided. Jeez, how it hits, man. Look at how divided we are. We'll pull out a phone to argue some like, let me ask you a question. Native. If I just bust out and I be like, hey, them shoes bumping. What am I saying?
Don't you think they fire?
Like shit though.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to look in the phone and be like, hold on, wait a minute, what does bumping mean? Do you see where I'm at right now?
Yes.
We are looking in a device not developed by us to give us the definition of shit that we've always said, and we never needed any devices to know what it was. We can just hit one of these, and that's all we needed to do was just one of these. That's wild, bro. That's
Can I ask you a question?
anything. I want to not talk. I really want you to take the floor. I want to shut up. Please save me. Please save me.
I have a my question is because of the fact that we were able to clearly define that because of where we're from, do you think that maybe this young man ain't where we from, i.e. He can't give the definition because
Let me get my face closer up on the screen while she talks, y'all.
he don't have no origin in the definition. Even though I do agree that the definition probably came from somebody who don't have no origin at all. But the more unless you're reading the Urban Dictionary, and we're just going to assume that was
exactly
not us, but we don't know. Anyway, the moral of the story is if he doesn't know and he has to go to a different source, where's he from? Is my question. Is he able
no. I get you on that. I get you on that. My whole thing is I'm gonna be real with you, sis. Us as Black people, and I've spoke about it, a lot of us talk about it. You know why we're so divisive? Because this is a prime perfect example of how we don't even know how to have one definition about something.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get 10 of us that'll tell you 10 of us will tell you 18 different definitions of what masculinity is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I can't really think of too many things where it's just unanimously. Like if you say this, it's without a shadow of a doubt. We all have the same headspace.
Is it a dominance thing?
I don't know what it. No. F dominance, because dominance would make us more united. We're united in we're dominant in the in the unity. It's divisive.
No, I mean like say between these two men. Do you think that one pulled out the device to make it?
No. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I think it's just a perfect example of how us as Black people, as a collective, just they listen. Language is so important.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important. Words are so powerful. They really have really peep this shit. It's not like it's a Black dude, a Spanish, or Asian, a blah blah blah. It's all of us.
Mm-hmm.
All of us. African American, foundational, FBA, whatever you want to say. It's all us, and we have to pull out a device so we can try to figure out what we've always talked about from day one. And nobody sees what's wrong with that. That's a problem. Now listen, watch this. This is on some small shit. Let me pull this back up. This is look at how divisive. We don't even know the same definition about a word that's called player. Are you really trying to get me to go into what we are divisive about in real politics? Look at this shit.
The second they usually do.
Yeah,
but
I'm just saying that's what that. I'm not
okay,
saying
but
it's true,
even with that being
now, after he finished reading that, was it like yep, that's what's up. Yep, nah, facts. No, immediately you heard 5 different voices give 5 different hold 'em objections. Nobody sees a problem with how we communicate, and we trying to figure out why we can't get shit right, why we can't seem to move to the next step. Nah, listen, I know this is just entertainment, but I'm just saying the word player We ain't even got that down pack after all these years of women dealing with players and men being players. We ain't even got that definition down pack. And y'all want to take shit to a national stage and talk, man, stop playing with me. God, geez, Louise, we are not ready. We are not ready, yo. Shit, man, it's scary, yo. I love my people. Like, I swear on life, this is scary. A lot of people be like, Smitty, you going too far, you doing too much. Nah, real talk. Like, I'm really seeing how we don't have a connective factor when it comes to communication. Alkaline, salute to you.
I absolutely agree there. I definitely agree. It goes back to what I say all the time. Hi, darling. Everybody's perception is their reality, which means it's their truth. And trying to make somebody see identical to you defies and tries to define uniqueness. And I think where a lot of people are getting everything jumbled up is under the mental mindset of what I think and what I feel is right. And fuck, if you don't like it, then you can get out my face. You can go on about your business. It's my way or no way. If you don't see it the way I see it, then something's wrong with you. And so we spend a lot of time screaming over each other, sometimes making the same point. But because when I looked out the window, I saw a car first. And when you looked out the window, you saw a trash can first. We now arguing when the point was, can you see outside? I land there.
That was beautiful. That was so well. That was very well put. We arguing over, like, and I've said it before, as far as like, we're all in the same house. Like right now, I'm in this house. This house has multiple windows, like doors, patio door, back door, front door, whatever, shit like that, right? Multiple windows, upstairs, downstairs, everything. If I just go over here to this back basement door and I look outside, you're upstairs and you look out the front door glass window. Is our view the same? Yes or no?
No.
Are we in the same house?
Yes.
We be arguing about views in the same house when we don't even want to recognize that it's because it's going to be multiple views when you have multiple options of what you can see. Why am I arguing with you about what you see out the bathroom window upstairs? And here it is. I'm sitting in the living room or the office and I'm typing on a computer and I'm looking out that window. My view is going to be different. Are we in the same house? Yes. So watch this. If while I'm typing on a computer, I see a threat coming from the front of the house, you in the bathroom, you see a threat coming from the back/rear of the house because, you know, it's a window. It doesn't matter which angle is coming from. The fact is, you see a threat coming. I see a threat coming. If it rains, if it snows, I see the same snow as you. Like, what are we arguing about? That's the part that trips me out so much about all of this. And no one wants to talk about it, but I understand why. Because if we really was to tackle that in a large way, people feel like, although I don't think it would, people believe that the money would dry up. That's really what I believe it comes down to. It's not about if it's really worth trying to save anything. It's if the money will dry up. And the fact is, we need to recognize that there will always be plentiful for us, like, period. Like, just stay on trajectory, whatever that may be for you. Who knows? That might be your trajectory, so I can't say nothing to that. Let's go ahead and get back to the video. With that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's rock out.
Said, right? I can make you like me. That don't mean I didn't tell you I'm fucking other women or dealing with other women.
That's a fact.
That I'm still keeping it player. You get what I'm saying?
I think it's easy for someone to lie and have multiple people because if that person is thinking that that's the only one, obviously they're gonna be around. But to tell a person that you got options and they still there, that makes you the real player in the game. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. It depends on the type of person you're actually dealing with. Because for me, when I started dating my boyfriend, he was very honest, and I wanted somebody to be honest with me because it gave me the choice to say whether I wanted to do this or not. You know, and some females may not be able to take in that because they're so emotional with the situation.
True.
Me personally, be honest with me. Because I'm gonna be honest with you too. And I want you to be able to take my honesty just as much as I'm able to take yours. So if you telling me when I started dealing with him, oh, you know, I do talk to such and such. I'm not looking for such and such right now. You know, I'm just, you know, doing my thing. Cool. As we gravitate towards being around each other more and things start getting a little bit more serious, then the respect level comes. But one thing I can say was he was honest in the beginning. He was dealing with multiple women.
But I don't think I would
respect that.
define that as a player, though.
So when we say girls are player too, are women? If we're using that same context, are women telling other men, "Yeah, I got a lot of niggas"?
I feel like if I'm dating someone, okay, I feel like if I'm entertaining a guy, I give this guy my number, but I already was texting somebody else. We haven't done anything sexually. We haven't gone on dates. I'm entertaining this guy. I meet someone. I'm entertaining that guy. I don't have to tell. Either or, like, hey, I got some. It's not serious. But if I'm intimate with one guy and then I'm gonna be intimate with the other guy, and then I'm gonna let one think like you're the one I'm pursuing, and that's playing. Like, it's not like that's people's real emotions. Like, you're playing with. At the end of the day,
don't nobody care about that no more. Nobody care about that shit no more.
Like, women can be players too because all they do nowadays is like. They want to be with men for what they can get. So if it's money, if it's the trips, if it's the Birkin, they're going to play that game to make that man feel like, oh, you're the only one and you're this and you're that.
Oh, shit. Come to find out, it ain't really got nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with a fucking itinerary. What do you got?
For me, yeah, that's for a specific group of people. Again, you got what is her name? Corey Lee or whatever. Girls are players too. It's something that's out there. If a if a man, let's say a man goes into a party, right? You standing there and you're projecting yourself as a put together woman. I'm a woman, you know, I don't want to be played. I want to be a wife, not a side piece, right? You go to this prestige party. Say this party your girlfriend told you about because she knew that the Boazes, for lack of a better term, were all going to be the clientele or the company to this party. And then the DJ drop, because girls is players too, and you twerking to that shit. My question is, do you think Boaz looks over there and goes, you know what, that's just a song. She just liked the beat? Or do you think he looks over there and is like, oh, is that what she bopping to? Is that the type of vibe she on? No, I'm good. Or the players that see her bopping to it are like, oh, I know I can go ahead, find her, fuck her, and forget her, because just in the vibe that she's giving off, the things that she is connecting herself to, maybe even the females that are surrounding her, you've already projected out there what you stand for to an extent.
Absolutely facts. 100%. I don't have to say shit. Please continue. Facts.
That literally was the point. So it's like we put ourselves and I'm not saying that men don't do the same, because if I go to a party and I'm expecting all these gentlemen, and don't get me wrong, I listen to Ice Cold Bishop, I listen to you know what I'm saying, shout out to I listen to all of that, but and I like for me, I like a little hood gentleman. I like them with a little, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, okay, I don't mind you bopping to that, But is your pants around your goddamn ankles? Because I don't have time to chase a grown-ass man who don't know how to put on a belt, keep his pants up. So to me, the way that you present yourself, the things that I may, if I'm interested in, see you gravitating towards, the type of language. If I'm watching from across the room to see how much you respond to just females walking past you while you in a group with your friends. Are you eyeballing everybody's ass? Like, I don't know if that's just me, but I'm just saying, both for male and female, I feel like we are very responsible for how we come off, and are responsible in some ways, because I'm not saying there is an exception to everything, and some people manipulate and pretend they're y'all know that whole spiel. But I'm talking about in the short of, we are responsible for how we present ourselves, because we are going to be looked at by the gentlemen and the predators at this exact same time. One of them is going to beat the other to you. I land there.
Man, you on point. And with that being said, this commercial break is brought to you by friendship.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
All right, now let's go ahead and get back to the video. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's rock out.
But they have this man that gives them that man that gives them that, this man. You can't tell the man that's spending $100,000 on you for the year or every month that you're fucking a little nigga down the street. Yeah. That's it. It's a wrap. So you got to play the game. So women can be players too. Men do it as well, because a man can say he likes, okay, trophy girl, hood girl, trophy girl, everything. She has her business. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's intelligent. Hood girl, sloppiest sex ever. He don't want to lose the trophy girl. He want to keep her there for when he's done with that girl. It's playing the game. He's playing a game, but the hood girl's gonna get feelings and trophy girl gonna get feelings, and then somebody else might come into the picture. He's playing a game. That's my definition of a play.
You know, it's so sad, unfortunately. That game has failed for time after time after time after time. I know personally because I've been the dude that's actually done it. That's the only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm not even speaking from a victim mode. I'm speaking as like everything she talking about. I'm like, yep, I've been that nigga that she called right after she hung up with you. I know exactly what this shit looks like to a T, to a fault. I know exactly what it looks like.
Not somebody that's saying, oh, hey, you know what? I'm talking to somebody, but it's not that serious. That's just you being open and honest, because we're adults. That's being open and honest. That's dating, right? Yeah, but if you're dating with intent, when I'm dating with intent currently, so when I meet somebody and they're like, hey, what's up, shorty? You cute. But first of all, I don't say it like that, but I put it on the table. I said, listen, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm not doing. Yeah. This is boundaries. You have to operate within the parameter of this boundary. If you choose not to, you could go. I don't care.
That's a bit much, and that's the biggest damn problem. I'll just say that. Everybody needs to just chill out. You know exactly what you want if you know yourself. Don't nobody need your whole big lecture out the gate. I don't want to hear that shit, and I promise you, you don't want to hear that. Like, if I was to just bust out of nowhere, be like, Melissa, you say, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, look ahead, woman. I'm gonna just let you know right now, this dick ain't free. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
Dick ain't free is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if I just bust out of nowhere and just start saying a bunch of wild, goofy shit. Like, and you like, well, goddamn, all I said was, you know what I'm saying? It's like most women would even say, like, bruh, chill. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, relax, fall back. We just talking. And the thing is that I don't think women recognize, like, if you're really around the caliber of man that you're attracted to, then that means that man literally goes through the exact same thing that you go through. Having to turn women down, wondering, thinking, having options. It's the exact same thing. We're not the guy, like it's like it's like women will get around guys like myself and many others and act like we are the ones who are like the dudes that they talking about. And that's when we just get to sitting back like, okay, so when we gonna get past this part? I'm gonna let you go ahead and get your little issue off. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna wait and see. Do you really recognize who was in front of you? Do you recognize the caliber of man that is before you? Yes or no? Yes or no? And so from that point, it's like, yeah, it gets weird after that. But what you got, Melissa?
I appreciate that effort right there. I really do. I just don't. I just want you to understand. I appreciate that effort right there.
I tried so hard.
You really did, and I didn't want it to go unnoticed because you definitely tried there, and I'm proud of you.
Hey, don't you see the effort?
If I knew I could, if I could push that little, give an applause to yourself, please.
Was that for me?
I
Was
mean,
that
it really was, because you all right with me. I don't give a shit what they say about you.
I'm trying?
So, but no, you are correct. All of that, coming full circle to bring both points. You are correct, and I'm glad. Thank you for saying that because it is important for us to hear from someone who is in a position to say, hey, like this is what a gentleman, like I feel like I'm a gentleman, or I feel like I represent a gentleman, and this is what this looks like, or this is what we're not looking for, this is what you're projecting. Because unfortunately we think that what's on TV is what you guys want. That's what they're telling the women. That's what they're telling the young women. That's how the young women are being groomed now. I heard a very prominent music artist who just won Female Rapper of the Year say that her red flag is a straight black man. And because she is illuminated in that way, people are going to say,
no, indoctrinated.
Well, no, I mean illuminated as in the spotlight.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
because she's in the spotlight, because she is projected as everybody pay attention here. You got the mic. What are you going to say to the world? Then everybody pick up and kill it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, but was that on purpose? Was that on purpose from whomever knows that she is the center of attention right now? Is she the nucleus? Is she the plant? Or is that really how she feeling? Why? What makes you say, you know what I'm saying? We hear it in the music and things like that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things that are put out on purpose. With purpose, and we don't slow down and pay attention to it. We just pick it up because we're trying to hurry up and get our 15 minutes of fame. We're trying to hurry up and get attention. You ain't dissected half this stuff. You don't even know what it means, probably can't even spell it, but you representing it so that you can be in front of somebody else. If a song comes out, you probably ain't even listened to the lyrics. You done got on there and said you're going to paint the town red, sell your soul to the devil because you want to be in the first 200 TikTok videos that drop with that trending sound. I land there for now. She cute.
You go somewhere pretty far with things. I appreciate it. Appreciate you for it.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
No. It's just, I just be trying to, I'm just, I don't want to lose the audience because, I have recognized that a lot of people they're not there yet. A lot of people just aren't. A lot of people just aren't at that point where they're able to see past one dimension of what is really like a hexagon. You see?
But are we doing them a service by dumbing things down?
No, and that's my point. That's so wild, right? Right? And that's what I was just getting ready to say, beloved. And I appreciate you bringing up that part. Like, yo, I've recognized like the more I get to talking about it, like in a straightforward format, somehow or another I lose the people. But then when I go ahead and I just kind of like talk about it, but throw in what it is that we still go through and how we live today, I think it seems to resonate a lot better. So that's what I was just basically saying. I appreciate you being able to give that duality of it, you know? That's what I was saying.
No, I appreciate that as well. I think on this level. So my apologies. This is only, and not my apologies, like I'm sorry for thinking what I think. I don't. I'm just sorry to be that if it's above people's comprehension. This is how I see 24/7.
The world considers that dangerous, period.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, that's dangerous to the world. You know, if you have any form of like actual thought process that can think and look past your nose and actually see through and behind the curtains of what's really going on, for some strange reason that just seems to be dangerous. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I mean, you know, last time I checked, the ones who are the leaders of this, they basically put out that, you know, seek and ye shall find. Bow. All right. So if that is said, that is written, that is what's here, then I'm just trying to figure out why is it that every time that we are the ones who actually seek, we have to be nervous about finding. And I just learned how to get past. I ain't worried about that no more. I'm just going to look up what I want to look up and I'm going to type in what I want to type in. A lot of people don't know how to just go ahead and just look into what you want to look into. Forget what anybody has to say about anything. Period. Oh, you eating again?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm done. No, I'm done.
I mean, your point was made. My point was,
I forgot you. You said I took pauses. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, don't do that. No,
No, I
you're
forgot. No, I forgot. I got it. No, my bad. I appreciate you. Like you
how
respectful
you
as shit.
feel.
You respectful as shit. I forgot about that. You thinking I'm on pause? No, no. I digress. My mic is muted.
Wow.
My bad. My bad.
Oh, baby.
Oh man.
Ah.
All right, so I'm going to pull. I'm gonna pull some stuff up. Nah, because you get on my nerves right now. Just be real honest. Like you know, like shut up.
Wow, that get on your nerves in front of company. God,
Oh, bro. So, all right, I got this clip right here. I need you to tell me exactly what you get from this, okay? If that's all right.
Sure.
All right. So I'm gonna pull up a random clip. So let me see. Hold on. What's the time frame on these? What's the time frame? All right, bet. So I'm gonna pull this one up first. Let me just make sure. Is it in here? Not in here. All right, bet. Here we go. All right. So how do you feel about the spirit? Like your spirit, like how you connect, how you resonate with everything.
Is there a clip or is that the question?
No, that's a question before the clip. How
The
do you feel
question.
about, yeah, like spiritual connection and awakening within it? Like, how do you even feel as if you resonate? I mean, if you reach that point.
I don't feel like you can exist without acknowledging. So, yeah,
You
it's
must
all,
acknowledge.
yeah. I
All
feel
right.
like it has to be acknowledged.
Okay.
Someone new, but about remembering who you were. What if spiritual awakening isn't about becoming someone new, but about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be? You're not here to fit in. You're here to wake up, to let go of what you're not and return to your essence. That inner voice whispering through the noise, that intuition that never lies, that light that never fades, even when it hides. Empowerment isn't about being invincible. It's about embracing yourself and your vulnerability and trusting that everything you need is already within you. You're not searching for answers out there. You're remembering you've always carried them inside.
So, how do you feel about that? What you just heard personally.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. Everybody calls the same thing their own interpretation of it. Consciousness, God consciousness, woke, spiritual enlightenment, bah, 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 bah. You know what I mean? And to each his own. I believe that is your personal relationship with whatever you choose to call God, whatever, all those other definitions. So, yes, I do think that because we are in the world, but not of this world, that there are places that we are able to travel in our subconscious that would probably drive us insane if we were aware of them, which is why I always say I think that a lot of crazy people have unlocked that level of consciousness. And that's why they look
Why would
crazy.
you
They
say
be
that?
super
Like,
smart.
why would you say that? Like, all right. Do you think it'll drive us like really crazy, or do you think it's something that most people just wouldn't be able to recognize if encountered? Like basically, like we just wouldn't even be able to recognize that that's what's taking place. I think most people would just be on more shock value than traumatized.
I think that if there was, let's just say there was like, the X-Men school, right? Where you see
Right.
a teenager walking, minding their business. They've been weird, bullied on all their life, like Raising Dion type thing, because they're special, right? Some people might think they're weird, autistic, whatever the case may be. Shout out to y'all. And so then one day they get kidnapped by the Umbrella Academy or X-Men. And if they're raised in that environment, they're no longer weird. They're amongst there. So nobody thinks that they're crazy amongst themselves. You feel what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But out here, yeah, it doesn't look like our normal because we've been getting program from day one when we got dropped out. You know what I mean? This is the guide to where your children should be, ages and stages. By the time they're here, they should be doing this. If not, they have a developmental problem. If they're not talking by the time we think they should be talking, if they're not walking by the time we think they should be walking, and then who are we? Who are they?
Interesting.
Sorry, is that another one of them type answers?
Nah, real shit. Nah, interesting. You like too shit. Hey, stop playing, man. All right, so
Oh, because I don't want to get the numb your holder and gay kill lady back up here now one more time. I feel
God have mercy upon us.
Timepiece Frosty, that's why you only get one chance to cross me.
anyway, shout out. Stop doing shit, man. Let's go ahead.
my man said, I'm about to have to hit the
man. Shit. Are we good? Just stop. Stop. Anyway. So let's go ahead and get to the video. Yeah, that's right. All right. So now that we're back serious, we apologize to you all. We just kind of bugged out for a second, but we're back now. Okay. All right. The time right now is 7:33 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all for watching. We are down to our last 10 minutes because it's just about that time for me. All right. So let's go ahead and get to this clip right here. All right. So we're going to end it off like this. I need to go ahead and get to this. Let me see something else. This. All right. So let me ask you a question. How do you feel when it comes to end it off? You know, the whole, N word. And, I've been struggling with it for myself for a while now. Because I come smooth off and be like, nigga, please, in a heartbeat. It's nothing. Then I think about it. I say to myself, is it really damaging? And do we really give the others the power to say it because we say it? Do you believe that?
Honestly, I think that I don't think that. I think we clearly define that is, again, our language and our culture parameter. I think we make that very clear from the jump. I don't care how many times I say it. This for me and mine. We're trying to take that back from you and turn it into something else, and unwhitewash it. Trying to blackwash it and put it in the community. And then any boo-boo, which you thought you spit at me, I turned around and spit it back at you. Man, type. So no, we don't give other people permission. Do we get comfortable with people that we feel relate to our culture where we say it to them? And depending on how well we think they're blended with our culture, we may let it slip. Yeah, but that's still within the confinements of y'all circle. I bet y'all can't go out to the grocery store or go out into a predominantly Black area and let your non-Black friend call you that. So, yeah, I think we clearly define who can, it's like that word, and then like who can say it, period. I haven't heard too many people come out and say, well, here's the list of people who can.
Got you. Okay. So I want to end this off on a fun tip. Okay. So we talked about it. I'm going to play this video. We're going to tap in on it for a few moments, and then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here with our final thoughts. So this one right here is definitely brought to you by, nigga, please don't you come out your mouth and say that. Just saying, though.
Remark that has divided people for many years.
And a J. Edgar Hoover elementary teacher has now been suspended over calling a student the N-word. Stacey Renee investigates what happened and why.
And what did he say specifically to you?
He said, sit down, nigga.
Riley Freeman is a third-grade student at J. Edgar Hoover Elementary School. He's a basketball player, an avid reader, and one day hopes to spread his philosophy through rap music.
We not slaves, we not niggas, bitch, we kings. We the Hebrews, we the Moors, the Indians, and everything. We was the Egyptians, Native Americans, give a fuck about what they say. They change our history and our culture, we don't even know our names. Mansa Musa, Shaka Zulu, Haile Selassie, Akhenaten, King Tut, we got Anubis, Black Power, they can't stop.
He was in class when he had a verbal exchange with his teacher, Joe Petto. But Mr. Petto said it was Riley who used the N-word first.
So I told...
God have mercy upon us.
him to take his seat, and here comes this barrage of insults. I mean, some of the words I've never even heard before, and I was just stunned. And I said, well, sit down.
nigga.
We was ruling Europe way before Queen Elizabeth. Why they acting like we create everything they use today? Science, astronomy, astrology, math, that's the least that I can say. We created paper, music, medicine, books, plenty more things that we made.
I just repeated the insult back to him because that's what I've been trained to do.
That is not what he's been trained to
Timepiece
School
Frosty,
superintendent.
that's why you only get one chance to cross me.
And Donald Richards says all teachers are taught to use appropriate hyphenated euphemisms instead of racial slurs.
We have a very strict policy against teachers using the N-word or any other racially insensitive words. The district's policy is that teachers should always say N-word instead of the actual N-word, or S-word instead of saying the actual S-word.
Go read about Tartarian Empire, then you might get the picture. They tried to erase our history so we could think we just a nigga. All you gotta do is be yourself, being great is in our blood. The codes is in our DNA, so just create straight out of love. All that why and shit is dead, cause we is kings, so come and king. We royal warriors of the planet, might be a new time, but nothing changed.
I used the word, I admit it. I thought there was a difference between nigger and nigga. I thought I understood.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
This whole thing, but I guess I don't. I need help. Whenever I hear the rappers, they say, nigga. It's in all the music. Look. Rap songs that use the word nigga in a positive way. There's tons of them. Look, real nigga roll call. Niggas bleed. Jigga my nigga. Niggas for life.
You're missing the point.
Real niggas don't die. Shame on a nigga. Suck a nigga. Ain't no nigga.
The school is investigating the incident, but in the meantime, Mr. Petto has been put on unpaid leave.
I just couldn't believe it because nobody ever called me a nigga before.
And how did it make you feel?
Like I was less than a person.
Because I hate you coward ass niggas. You a punk ass nigga.
So, Melissa, how much of our history do you believe personally? And that's why I show that's ended off in a very, very fun way. I just want to know, do you believe that all this bullshit that we going through is simply because they have removed our abilities to even be able to understand or tap in and know what's going on around us? I do believe that everything that we consume, from the food, the air we breathe, and all of that, has a lot to do with why we are so disconnected at this point. I don't think it's just environmental anymore. I don't think it's really just a political thing anymore. I think it's something that's now truly embedded, deep rooted, and inside of us at this point that we don't want to recognize. And some of us are able to control that monster. The majority of us aren't able to. But I do believe that over time they have like genetically some type of way placed like some kind of monster in us, if you get me, metaphorically speaking. And I do believe that that has a lot to do with why we function the way we do. Look, just Melissa, could you answer the question, please? Thank you.
I feel like the same reason going back to an earlier point, putting it in a different dynamic, the same reason why they came and got us to begin with, or came and got ancestors. I won't say, I'm politically correct as possible, YouTube-ish correct or whatever. The moral of the story is, I think that in that history, again, are we trying to get people to understand this? Do we want to stay segregated? Do you want that to be something that is just us, nobody use it, but you want people to include us, so you can include us as long as you don't cross these boundaries? I'm not quite sure what we as a culture wants, because again, we want several different things at the same time. We also sell ourselves, unfortunately, a lot. And whether it's subliminally or not, you feel what I'm saying? We sell ourselves in a way where somebody can entertain us or somebody can pay us to entertain them that's outside of our culture, making fun of our own selves. So there's a certain responsibility that we have, yes. But I also think that part of that responsibility is clearly defining the lines according to who you're around, who you're with. And that has to be a unified stance. It can't be cool behind closed doors, but not cool outside, cool for these people, but not that people, or it's all right for everybody. Yeah, you know the difference between when somebody's saying it to insult you and when somebody's saying it not to insult you. I know the difference between when somebody be like, bitch, and when they like, bitch. So, like, what are we,
Facts.
yeah,
Facts.
you know what I'm
Facts.
saying here? So, like, what are we saying? Like, if you really want to get into intricate details and play operation, let's do that. But let's also take responsibility and be on one accord about what we doing here. Is it at a cost that people can't say it?
No, I just believe that honestly that we really have been given things that has not allowed us to tap in anymore. Period.
Example, please.
Chemicals in food, medications, deodorants,
Yeah.
everything. Like I'm not joking. I'm so serious. I know it sounds far stretched, but I'm dead ass serious when I say they have given us a lot of things that, and even down to just how we're taught. Ooh, environment. Watch this. Boom. Environment, even. Environment has also been that contributing factor. Environment has a lot to do with that as well. You see? But when you're not able to feel like you're comfortable in your environment to learn, to grow, right? When we are the ones, like I'm just saying, for example, get down, because whatever. And look, some folks will say, whatever, white folks have went through that too. No, we talk about our own. So when you have environments in which we can't grow up and come up comfortable as well, oh man, you better believe you're going to have some issues when it comes to those who are the generations that come after that. Oh, there are going to be some issues. And why is that? Because if you remove the nurturing aspect of life, I promise you, you will never have anything that will be of comfort for the kids to come. The reason why I do what I do to work so hard to make sure that my child is so well taken care of to the best of my ability, that is, right? I ain't on no Jay-Z level with it, but everything that I do is for her, in the sense of when it's for her solely and strictly. It is customized and tailored all the way down to where her picky little behind wants to eat, right? And I do that because I recognize that that's something that was bestowed upon me. I was given the same rights. Now, this is what I'm saying with that. I do recognize the factor of you cannot give what it is that you have never had. And that's the part that then makes me sit back and say, damn, man, that's just sad, because now I'm recognizing what I give my child is love. So how many people just really, in whatever fashion, may not know?
Agree.
Healthy. See, that's the key word. Not saying what you do ain't love, right? And I'm not saying, I'm saying to the audience, I'm speaking to the audience, by the way, beloved. Not saying what you do out there isn't love, but is it a healthy form? And there are even some things that I was raised up under, as wonderful as I speak of my parents, and I'm like, nah, I gotta tweak a few things. It's quite a few things I tweak. Like, for example, I had to learn to listen to my child a lot more and give her the space to speak. Why? And Melissa, you know, I've spoken about this because I remember what it was like not being able to talk. As much as I say I grew up in a loving household, I mean, like it was really hard for me to get my thoughts out because I always like went under a lot of feeling like I'm being judged or whatever. So then all of a sudden now I'm in therapy. I'm in therapy for not talking. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm in therapy at the age of 13 because I just didn't. It was really just because I didn't talk that much. But a lot of people didn't realize now after therapy, they realize, yeah, he's not talking like that because he really doesn't feel like I didn't feel comfortable talking because I always felt like I was going to be judged for my thoughts. This is back when I'm a kid, right? For the record, you know, this is like childhood, right? So now I'm like, man, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through that feeling of, you know, I can't speak and say what I got to say. One day I just said, F it. Could nobody shut me up ever since. And so what I do, I went on ahead and I opened up and I got this whole thing going and I got this engine fired up, this platform here for people to just simply come up and speak your mind because I know what it's like not to be able to like feel like you comfortable to talk. You smell me now? So like it's a dynamic in which I've learned us as black people, we have had all kinds of things that have stifled us. You just talking about not being able to read, no, not being able to worship, not being able to learn, not being able to speak in certain manners or go here, go there. I recognize how all of that has affected things. Am I one that harbors on that? No. I don't give no excuses if you still going to act a certain way. All I'm saying is that I recognize how much that has had an effect. And something called Willie Lynch. A lot of people don't talk about this. So I recognize how much that they have stopped us from being able to tap in. That's all I'm saying. Like that's the one thing I definitely agree with. Once upon a time, we were looked at with such great force and power. And it was like, man, we gotta like calm this down. And the only way to do it, they weren't able to do it through brute force because we outnumber. When you're talking about worldwide. So what was the only other option outside of that? They had to go ahead and just like, hey, let's see what we can do to get into the mind. Maybe we can play, you know, Professor X. That's basically what took place. They played Professor X, you know, almost like how he's able to stop Juggernaut, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Anyway, it's about that time for me, beloved. You know what I gotta do. Any final statements you want to say on this right here? Anything you got?
No, I think that rests well.
I thank you for that. Well, I don't have anything to say then shit. Well, with that being said, y'all already know what it is. I digress. My mic is muted. This motherfucker every time. Hey, Wilson. Wilson,
Wilson, what are you doing? Hi, Hotem. I'm just testing my maracas. Usually when I have mine tested, the doctor makes me turn my head and cough. Happy hour, Wilson?
what's
I
up,
just came to
so?
chill. Close shop. We out of here.
Oh, where's she at? Where's she at?
If she be me, then she's here.
Let's go. All right, bet that. Let's go ahead and rock out. And with that being said, I don't know all the terminologies. I'm just old, god dang it. I'm just old. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Don't mind me. I'm just getting my little outro set. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Peace out.